Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Octane Online Racing first ever EU split. And there's going to be two of them. We are spoilt to death today. Now, obviously, you know who I am. If you don't already, then I am Reggie Online, or Ben McConnell, as I'm more known to the ACC sweats nowadays. Joining me is Mark Hornbadger Meiklejohn. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm very good. You know, we're back, we're racing. We've got some ACC. It's going to be great.
It's going to be ultra pog. That's what it's going to be. Silverstone as well. Like, could you really kick off EU in a better scenario like this? Going straight into this fantastic track. I am really, really hyped. So I know that my mic would have been turned off and on again there, but I just had to hotkey. So we are now in Silverstone. Obviously, is the free practice going into it. Fen was meant to be joining us tonight, but she's not feeling particularly well, so get well soon, Fen. And we hope that whatever ails you soon passes. But I need to go on track, I think. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I think we need to see what these drivers are up to right now.
So let's get the Sandabidozi. Bear with me because I haven't... There we go. Nailed it. I'm an actual beast at this now. I hope you haven't seen it before. So, obviously, first things first, we are in Split Blue kicking off. There are a few big names in here. More known is Darren King in the Ferrari. Very well known in the ACC community. Has actually been one of the quickest drivers, like, ever, to be truthfully honest. He competes with a load of big guys like Jardier and James Baldwin and a load of other huge names in ACC. He actually did race in the Asia Pacific region for OOR last season. But obviously the time zones kicked in and kind of made it difficult. So, you know, we made it easier for him. Kicked off now with the EU split and Darren's in there. There's also a load... This is perfect for me, right? Because there's a load of people in here and in the next split as well that I raced with when it came to rookies last season. And it was amazing. Some of these guys, to battle them on track. Yeah, I'm talking Barnett, I'm talking Gareth Walker. There's also Wagner in here as well. Loads and loads of people that we've been racing have transitioned out of the rookies into the sprint series and actually now starting to see what it's like to be one of the big boys and girls.
Yeah, it's honestly, there's so many good names here, and you know, as you say, there's people that we've been racing with for years and people who were in the rookie series, and it's great to just see how much everyone's progressed and how, especially as you were watching them in rookies, you know, from everyone kind of started not too sure of where they were, and then the grid really formed up, and so much talent and so much progression, and everyone was really pushing each other to be much better. I know, for example, your times went absolutely through the roof when you started competing with these lads.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I learned, to truth be told, there was like 3 or 4 names in particular that were just constantly making me push myself that bit harder. But the one person I was struggling so hard to keep up with, and it was always my mission each week, was to beat Barnett. Now, he isn't driving in the car that he was driving in the rookies for. He was, in fact, driving an Aston then. I think he may have actually changed it once or twice whilst he was in the rookies. But here and now in this league, he will be stuck with the Lamborghini. And it's actually quite a good car. Even around this track, it's not by any stretch of the imagination quite slow. It is quite a quick car, especially if you are looking for that sort of mid-corner grip. The Lamborghini does actually stick it out quite nice. And he does have a decent high top speed as well. So, you know, they're all pretty well balanced when it comes to the bop. Some cars are naturally going to be better than others. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can deliver, especially along the likes of like Dalking, for example.
Yeah, Barnett really did show himself to be kind of a class of the field and the rookies, and obviously now the sprint series, much more tougher competition. Like, is he going to perform just as well as he's done in the rookies?
Yeah, exactly. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders as well that he's more worried about within himself. You know, obviously you've got everyone else's expectations, but I think he's got his own too, because he went into rookies and, you know, dominated, to be truthfully honest. His pace was very much up there with what the pro guys would be doing. So to see him out on the track in this format is now going to be a scenario where he's going to have to really commit. He's going to have to really show what he's capable of, and I'm looking forward to it. I cannot complain at all. Now, we are going to be moving to the next session shortly, and we'll be hopefully seeing some of these guys beast out some crazy lap times. Is there any car in particular that you've taken a liking to? Because we've got a lot of liveries, but which one are you... I'll give you time to look through it first before you decide, because I'm sure there's a fair few you've not yet looked through. But like for me, I think the Aston has got to be the piece to my heart that I've been missing.
You know, generally speaking, and I hate to say this because I'm saying it to you, but I think that the McLarens have always been so good. Like, they just look so nice. However, I do want to draw your attention to the safety car, because this safety car looks incredible.
I have seen it. There has been a lot of talk about it in the Asia Pacific region, should I say. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who designed it, and I have to completely agree with what Fen says on this. She pointed out that this looks exactly like Waluigi kind of colours, and I'm all aboard that. Yeah, absolutely, it looks very much like Wario and Waluigi. So I'm going to call it the... We need a better name for it than the safety car. I don't know about the Wario Party, maybe?
I mean, I am genuinely quite down for, you know, if someone makes a mistake and the safety car needs to come out, they're summoning Waluigi. You know, they've
Yes.
done something stupid, and so they're getting getting stupid responses to them.
Rightio. Thank you for the tip there, Neil. I didn't know that. I was wondering that. But you've now pointed me in the right direction, and we have it sorted, so thank you. We do have the timings when they do come up. The Waka, that's a great name for it. The Waka. I like that.
Waka, I like that. I like that a lot.
Everybody's out on the track
You've
already.
got to say it like wah. You've got to.
Oh, you got to put some real effort into it.
Yeah, you've got to put the effort in.
I've just realised that my track map is the small track map and not the big one, which I think I have to change in the menu. If you confirm, I will amend. But yeah, anyway. Have you seen the team names for these cars?
I have not. I'm just having a look through just now to see.
I think the best one was it the Nissan? I think it was the Datsun. Let me look. Dive Bomb Datsun, that's it.
Ah, yes.
That's the best name. I love that name so much. But yeah, we are seeing a fair few drivers out on the track at the minute. Do you really want to stay on board with Darren, as he is about to start a hot lap? In fact, you know what we'll do? We'll go on board. We'll get a proper on board there. Cockpit, there we go. See how you would do a lap around Silverstone, because this is very much the track where momentum is key, right? If you want to keep this flow throughout this entire lap, you really have to make sure that you nail every single corner, but you have to be so specific. I talk about this quite a lot. There's a lot of tracks that are momentum-based tracks, right? And some of them are a little bit more momentum-based than others, as it just makes a little bit of a mistake there. But this one in particular, there's no real area for you to sort of make any mistakes. If you run a bit wide or you get a bit too hot on the brakes, then you know you're going to lose these valuable tenths that you can't afford to lose, especially like here through Stowe Corner. You've got to get it just right. And he looks to have done exactly that, coming into what is in F1 world the final few corners. Nail that inside, don't touch that sausage curb, you will die. Flip the inside again here, coming into the final for the F1 circuit. But of course, this is ACC and this is the GT layout, so this is not the home straight. We do have more to go. Here, you can actually just lift. Does he lift? Yes, he lifts.
Yes. Lift's a little bit too late for my liking, but you know, he nails it, so that still worked. Maybe he's just braver on the accelerator than I am.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you set up the car just right, you can actually proper carry a lot of speed through there. But you got to bear in mind, this is his first hot lap. I'm expecting the issue that he's currently facing to be going to be more that he's got to watch out for that rear end step in. But yeah, if he sets it up just right, he can actually just full send through there. And coming through now, this is one of the hardest corners for me, and then into this one. This is so awkward. There's so many different ways to take this this corner. He seems to take it with a double apex. Exit seems to be pretty good. And let's see what the first lap time we get on the board then is a 159.0 from Tudor, and then Dalking will smash that into the bin with a 57.129. That is a statement.
Yeah, Tudor's probably just been vastly demoralised there, seeing the times pop up. But you know, it's interesting with the track layouts. Obviously, the track layout's the same between F1 and the GT cars, but it is the start finish that changes. And it's interesting because in F1, you get up to that chicane and you're like, right, I've done everything right now. I just need to get the chicane right. And then if you mess up the chicane, it's like, right, I've bottled the whole lap. So you think, oh, well, if the chicane's not the final turns, it could actually be a bit easier. But no, because the start-finish straight for the GT cars comes just after you're going for the hardest braking zone on the track. You know, and if you mess that up, you easily lose in half a second.
Absolutely. So we're getting more times on the board. No one is quite close enough to Dalking just yet. Is Thompson, who's done a 1 second off there from King. Yeah, 58.152 is Thompson's time. Vesemale in P3, 58.596. So I mean, again, very early doors. Let's not throw anyone into the bin straight away. We don't want to say, oh, he's run away with it and take a pole. We've still got 4.5 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. There's still plenty of opportunity for people to smash out these incredible lap times. And again, I'm waiting to see the likes of Barnett, who's not yet got a lap time on the board yet. I'm very keen to see what he can deliver. Where is he currently? Coming through
18th. Yeah.
the straight, yeah. He's one of, what is that, 7 people, I think, that haven't yet set a time. Oh, that has just dropped. Having said that. And somebody's actually just snuck in there to get themselves in. Oh, if you actually, yeah, look at the Lamborghini team name.
Let's bring that up. Oh yes, that is. I am very pleased with that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm loving these.
Oh, Banner only P4.
Still, you know, he's only 4/10ths off what we would consider a pretty good time for this moment in time. We can just ignore King right now because he's a freak, and let's drop that out. So yeah. It's only 4/10ths off what you would expect is really good right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could see, in terms of Sector 1, they're pretty much the same. So 34.7 for Dalking, 34.8 for Barnett. Sector 2, very different. It's a 1.1 second gap. And then Sector 3, that's pretty much it then. He's losing all in Sector 2, because in Sector 3, he's only 2/200ths of a second away, sorry, 2/10ths of a second away. So, you know, it's by no stretch of the imagination all done and dusted. He's got plenty of room for improvement, and he can actually do so. And somebody else who I'm actually really pleased with, I've actually raced and spoke to this guy on quite a few occasions, Gareth Walker. Really nice guy. We've got a lot of practice in the Ferrari recently, and he's been loving it. He hasn't spent that much time on this particular track. Does have a lot more he needs to kind of reel out this car, but I think once he gets that time, once he gets the ability to sit down and just smash out some laps, you can expect to see him up there, even in the top 3 maybe. And who knows? Maybe he has been abusing this track all day, and maybe he'll just smash out at 57.2 or something. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, to be honest, Gareth is, again, one of these guys that's just improved so much from the rookie series and from just general practice. You know, he's got a server up for all of us to connect in and to race against and like track each other's times and see, you know, it really kind of forces everyone to get better and do better, and it's great to see him up there just now doing pretty well. And also I just want to mention, in case anyone saw that and was confused, yes, you are allowed to teleport back to the pits. So you'll have seen potentially a few drivers kind of pull over to the side and teleport back to the pits. It just saves you a little bit of time, and so long as they do it in a safe manner, there's no issues with that.
Yeah, no one gets shot. I also want to point out that Thompson has actually reeled that gap right down now. The best lap time he's done is a 57.813. So yeah, still 7/10ths almost away from Darren. But again, here's the thing, right? There are so many people I meet when I'm racing who are seriously sweaty when it comes to qualifying lap times. But going into the race is a completely different story. You're talking about the consistency, you're talking about the management of the heavy car, because it's a complete... In F1, you know, it's pretty difficult. The car's heavy, the balance of the car can feel quite wrong, but I would argue that it's much harder in ACC, in a GT3 car, to manage that weight, because there's already quite a lot of weight in the car anyway. And then, you know, you got to completely adjust your setup on your car to make sure that it can handle that weight distribution. Otherwise, your back end just becomes too heavy. You find yourself buried in a wall somewhere, and maybe even having a visit to the chapel. Yeah,
it's a good thing there is a chapel round the track. Might be in use at certain times, but yeah, for guys who aren't used to driving these cars, and or have came from like F1 kind of background, the kind of weight and the kind of control of the weight distribution of the cars is so important for a quick lap time.
So looking at the lap times that have currently been chucked in now, I'm just trying to place where I would be if I was able to. I mean, currently, PB-wise, I'd be sat around P5 as it stands. So it's good to see that I'm in there somewhere, but I mean, these guys are just going to need to really show us what it comes down to in that race. And actually, I was watching earlier for the Asia Pacific region in the split blue and green, if I remember the colours correctly. As if he's just improved. How has he just improved? He's just gone 56.9. Darren is absolutely on fire today.
This is incredible. You know, some people might say it's the car and the Ferrari's just really OP around here, but man, that is incredible. And Thompson as well has managed to improve, but it's kind of, well, you're still so far off what is currently provisional pole position.
Every time anybody gets anywhere near his lap time, he just steps it a little bit further. I mean, Thompson has been edging it closer and closer, and same for Ogden, to be honest. And actually, Ogden is about to come through the final corner now to hopefully set a new and improved lap time. We'll see whether or not this is improved. We are at the end of qualifying session, so obviously most of the drivers are in the pits. Just a couple other people to go. That was an improvement. It's now into the 57s, 57.9. A good lap time there, but not quite into the top two. We have Barnett as well coming up to the line to set a final lap. It goes up to P4. Big lap time improvement, 58.1. So good stuff from him. But again, not quite into that top three. But he's so close. Just 2/10 is all that's needed to snatch Ogden's P3 right now.
Yeah, honestly, like, if you look from, third place, down to sixth there, like, there was so much that you could gain from just like a corner or two and got yourself an extra position. But I mean, I don't think anyone there was even thinking about challenging King.
No. Alrighty, we are now going into the race. So the first of the two races. We are going to be having a nice 20-minute sprint. And then moving over to, I think, if I remember correctly, the top 12 get reversed. And then there's there's another qualifying session after this. And the top 12 at the end of the first race will get reversed. And then the rest of it is qualifying, if that makes sense. So
sounds good.
Bear that one in mind. 1 minute before we get into this race, I'm going to ask you for your prediction.
For I think I'm going to say King. I think it's going to be King Thompson for the 1-2, but I think Barnett's going to pull out and get P3.
Ah, you stole mine. That was literally going to be what I was going to say.
Well, this is why you always throw it out to other people first, and sometimes it backfires on you. So tough. You have to find something different. Be unique.
Okay, I'll be unique. I mean, I think Darren has got the pace, and I've seen him race in the past. I think his consistency is going to be too strong. I think he will take the win. Thompson has shown so much pace and so much prowess that I think he will actually secure that P2. I don't think we can really argue that one. But I have to go with Ogden for P3. Not because of any other reason other than driving the McLaren and has 720 as the car number. It's meant to be. You know what I mean? Can you get any better than that? So we are getting ready and into this race. We are transitioning. There we go. We are moving. Cars are away. Things you like to see. Let's go on board with... Let's start a nice... Let's go on board with Barnett for this the race start. We are, of course, on the formation lap. They'll be mastering their tyre pressures by using the brakes to get themselves nice and warmed up. And that's the thing. When you got a race that's 8 o'clock in the evening like it is here on server time, the conditions of the track vary quite substantially. The track will be cooling down quite nicely, but it also increases the chances of grain. Not to rain, grain. And that actually means that the tyres will start to drop, but that's when you have to adjust your brake ducts to make sure that they're holding more heat in to warm those tyres up, keep the whole surface and the core of it nice and cozy, and then we can go into it and have a nice, juicy, warm tyre with a lot of grip, hopefully, that doesn't involve any death, because that would be sad.
Yeah, that's the thing about ACC is it is a simulation, It tries to simulate everything from, the way the cars will handle to the tyres, temperatures, the effects of the temperature of the track, the effects of the temperature on the tyre. So something that's not quite balanced, you're definitely going to feel that.
And with 15-degree track temperature as well, that really makes a massive difference. The lap times will be so much better overall, and the grip you can feel through the wheel is just overall more than what you'd expect in your practice, because especially when I do it, you tend to go out on the track and practice in 31, 32 degree temperatures. If you do that, when you come to a track like this with 15 degrees, suddenly you feel like you've got all the grip in the world. Almost like you're driving an F1 car. You know what I mean? That's how much extra grip you feel like you've got. So it can be really enjoyable to race in these conditions. Obviously, there is one other slight problem you have, which is at the wrong area of the track, the sun will be perfectly horizontal with your eyes, and you will be blinded, which can make battling quite hard, but you know, we are staring at this beautiful safety car, the OOR car.
OOR car!
Yeah, exactly.
Need some
I don't
more.
want to do it. I think you've got that nailed, really. I don't want. I think that's your job. You can take that. It's all yours.
Step on my roll.
Exactly. It's all yours. I don't want it. You take it. Well, a few corners to go before we get started with this race, and I think the main thing here is when those lights go out, who can really sort of get themselves properly off the line. You know, obviously it is a rolling start in ACC as in comparison to what you see like in F1 or whatever, but this is what makes ACC so enjoyable, is the reaction times are so crucial, and you can gain and lose places depending on how much you're caught napping. I love this so much, and I really can't wait to get started with the first proper race of the EU OOR split. This is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. This is, we're about to get going.
We are indeed. Do you want me to take the start?
Go for it.
Alright then. So Darren King put himself on pole in the qualifying and is now going to be leading us away here, unless Thompson has got some sort of response to this. They're waiting for the green lights to come on. They will be more towards turn 1, I believe, but just get ready. And we are away. Darking's got a good start. Also, so is Ogden. He's actually looking for the inside on his teammate. They are teammates overall. A little bit wide there from Thompson. Now they're going too wide throughout here. This is going to be pretty awkward for them to keep it clean in towards Maggots and Beckett. One of them does back out. That is, in fact, Ogden. And that is why you're not seeing any major disaster from there. Vesemir was having a look at the Honda of Bauer, who's actually gained a place there quite nicely. That Gulf livery looks so clean. I think we're okay towards the back as well. We have got some Ferraris going side by side. That is right. And I think Gareth may have actually lost in place as well. Yeah, he has. He was up there near the front. He has fallen down. Actually, the Bentley here might get a look in here as well. Looking for the inside. But Gareth has left just enough of a gap. I think the Bentley's through. He might even get two here. Going down the inside of both of them. He's going to have to take the outside for the left-hander. But if he can just stay alongside, going into the right, he should actually secure this position, literally wheel to wheel, and the Bentley has got the run through the corner. The Ferrari's going to be hung out to dry, and yes, indeed, that is a Bentley that you can see, I believe, is Catan. Oh, never mind, I take that back. That was, in fact, Gareth
right.
is right. Yeah, he just gets himself back ahead again.
Yep, it was a good battle there. I actually watched it all from on board, Gareth. He was sitting looking, it nearly looked like he was going to make up a move into the chicane on Catan, but thought better of it, realised that, you know, 2 into 1 does not go, and backed out, and he's now just sitting pretty, looking for a move, but his teammates now went wide. This is letting Catan back through, and Walker making the move on his teammate, getting up through, and gained a position, but not on the driver he wanted to make the move on.
No, definitely not. And actually, you can see some more movements going on towards the back there. That is a Aston Martin. I believe the clerk going down on the inside of his teammate. He's got that one in as well. Gareth is getting mobbed here with cars just passing him left, right, and centre. 2 Astons are through. You've got Mercedes going around the outside of him as well. This is going to be pretty awkward to maintain. Fastest lap, of course, coming through is going to be Darren's, so 2:07.4, but it is the opening lap. So don't expect blistering lap times on an opening lap, but we are going to start to see the intervals kick in. And we'll figure out who is where. I think Abras is going to be trying to apply some pressure here to right.
Yeah, and King's actually already pulled out a massive gap, 1.3 seconds. He's checking out.
We've actually got Stokes as well, who's very close to the back here of the Nissan. There's Levchenko. Oh, it's Vesemir, sorry, not Stokes. It's Vesemir who's actually looking to try and take a position if he can. A little flick down the inside here from Lambert. Does decide to back out. That would have been a hell of a send had he looked into doing that. I'm glad that he chose not to do that. That could have been a murder or two. But no safety car for the first race of the EU Sprint Series. This is looking really positive.
No what car?
No, WA car.
There we go. There we go.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yeah, it's looking like actually Stokes keeps getting nice and close. Oh, the Vesemir spinning out right in front of Stokes there, just as he was looking like he was making a move. and that's a free position there for Stokes.
Let's have a quick look exactly what happened. We'll see Vesmail, the Porsche at the back, just behind the Nissan here. A little bit of a send and just lost the back end. And tell you something, did a very good job to catch it, but also the Lambo did a very good job of making sure there was no contact. So yes, bit of an oopsie from Vesmail, but end of the day, lives to carry on racing, and that is ultimately the most important thing.
Yep, and that's Walker again. Just got another position off Vesmail as he kind of spun out. He's back on track now and right behind Walker. So another kind of freebie was gained. But yeah, that puts him in the top 10.
Fastest lap from Darren has now been raised. A 157.480. A really good lap time from him there. Got Catan down in P9. It looked like he was dropping places, but actually, no, is still continuing. Tell you something, that Ferrari that Gareth is driving looks like he's really struggling with it. And actually, Vesmail, who did lose places, is actually under pressure now from the Porsche, going around the right side. Yeah, you don't really want to be trying it through there. That's really hard to make it work. Did, in fact, back out. Safety first. We don't want any murder here. If we can go the entire race with the students having nothing. No, okay, I won't. I won't.
Don't.
I won't do it.
Don't you dare tempt fate.
It's not worth it.
Some slight info on there. Ogden is a 10th quicker than Thompson on that last lap, so he has definitely got the pace and maybe pushing Thompson into kind of uncomfortable territory. Barnett slightly dropping off the pace, but he's not too far off the lead, so he could still catch back up to this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, seeing two McLarens fighting for podium positions, perfect. This is exactly what I want in racing, and I don't want anything else. Forget it. I think Stokes is actually having a look here as well at the Nissan. We'll have a look once more from the Helicam perspective. It does seem to be that they are going to continue scrapping the way they have been already. But actually, look at this BMW. This is Tudor. Went a bit deep into that. And actually, he's losing out places, or is potentially going to lose out places to Catan, who we know isn't afraid to look for a gap and send it. Not going to be able to send it just yet. But still, 14.5 minutes remaining of sprint race 1. Tudor wants to gain that nice juicy P6. I mean, he's got a chance for a P6 here. I mean, the gap after that is a good 4 seconds to Bauer. But still, if he could take a P6, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, and Tudor's went wide, and this is Catan making the move up the what's going to be the inside for that corner, but it leads to the outside for this long right-hander, and Tudor's just slid back. There's been contact, and Walker's been caught in that as well. That is disaster.
Yeah, real sadness there. It looked like the penalty just went a bit in.
Move on Walker, as Walker had to slightly slow down from that contact he had, but he's just not managed to make it stick. But he's right here on the gearbox.
I jinxed it. I think that's my fault.
Yep,
ooh, big penalty. So car 195 has a 10-second penalty for an unsafe rejoin on lap 1. 195 is...
Yep, that is parties.
Parties, yeah. Oh, another mistake from Vesmail. I tell you something. He may be having a really big problem with his back end, but he's catching it like an absolute god. I think he's been clearly a dirt racer in the past life, or a drifter in a past life, because every time he loses the back end, he's like, oh, just flick it back in there again, no problem. You get back in there. You're not ready to leave yet.
Yeah, he's managed to catch a few worrying ones, but you know that's just a sign of someone who's really quite comfortable in his technique. A lot of drivers do like to have like a sharp front end and a little bit of a loose rear, and then they'll be like, yeah, you know what, I'm good enough to catch it if it steps out of line.
Yeah, absolutely. The gap between Ogden and Thompson is stretching just a little bit. We are talking almost a full second gap. They're still going to be getting a degree of tow, but it's going to be so minute that he won't really be feeling anything. I mean, Bauer, who's actually chasing down Barnett here, has pretty much got that tow. And to be driving a Honda on a track like this, which, to be honest, is actually the best car here, this is a really good sign that Bauer has got that pace. When we move into the tracks in the calendar and we start to get to more Honda-focused areas, this is where he's going to then really bring it in a little bit. Maybe even chuck himself on a nice podium. That'd be fantastic. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that would be interesting if he can just get there onto that step of the podium. But just having a look at Stokes here, he looks like he may actually be making a move on Levchenko. He's eking forwards, and then just in like 1 or 2 turns, he's fallen back a little bit. So if he can just keep his nose in and keep it nice and smooth, he might actually be making a move before this race is over.
I mean, that would be fantastic to see. He's been sat behind him for quite a while, but you know, overall to go where he is right now, take a P6 would be really good going into, you know, for the first sprint race, a P6 is a fantastic result, but then going into the second race, yeah, it's reverse top 12. It'd be ideal for him to then carry on that momentum and maybe even snatch it out, because that's the thing, right? The benefit to these sorts of sprint series where you have to do the reverse grid is Darren right now is 2 seconds clear of Thompson, right? But he's going to have to fight through 12, well, 11 in front of him, of course, but all the drivers around him in order to try and then take that win again. And it's not as easy as you think, especially if somebody makes a mistake right in front of you. You could easily find yourself buried in a wall somewhere, or maybe even with just too much damage. Again, yep. Levchenko finding a way to actually attack, sorry, Stokes finding a way to attack Levchenko. He was actually making mistakes into that heavy breaker zone, but has now recovered it.
Yeah, and it's true what you say about, you know, King's pace advantage right now. As it's always been said, it's one thing to catch, it's another to overtake. You can have the pace advantage, but, you know, if someone defends well, you're going to be really having to work for that move. As Levchenko goes a little bit deep now, Stokes is again just right at the back of that tyre, but can he actually get there where it matters?
Yeah, this is the hard bit now, but he's gone into a straight, and actually this is where the Lambo can favour, because he does have the toe, and he should be slightly faster than the Nissan in this straight line right here. Looking for the inside, bit of a... No, I thought he was going to send it, but he's actually opted against it. And yeah, so we'll continue this scrap. Meanwhile, the stewards have given Catan a 15-second penalty for that collision that we saw with Tudor. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. Sad that it ended the way it was, but you know, it was a really good attempt though. Fair play.
Yeah, it was just, you know, it's incidents happening in racing, but it was, as you say, it was definitely an attempt to go for.
I really want to look away from this battle, but at the same time, I really don't want to look away from this battle, because Stokes is just so close to Levchenko that one mistake coming through here, which I think Levchenko has actually made now. It looks like Stokes was able to carry more momentum through the corner, and Levchenko's gone a little bit deep, but actually hasn't lost that much time as a result. And yeah, they're just going to continue as is.
Stokes back end just slid out a little bit there through Maggots and Beckett's, and that was enough to just, again, let Levchenko off the hook. And again, it looks like the back end's just sliding there for Stokes. He's just losing out in the crucial parts of the lap. It looks like he does have the pace, he just cannot make the move stick.
It's that area there, those two corners in particular, is where Stokes looks like he gets the momentum through the left-hander, but then the right-hander, Levchenko, just has the better exit. So he's sacrificing more going into the left so that he can then carry more speed on the exit. I think Stokes hasn't yet picked up on that. When he does, I think that'll be the opportunity to then line up a move going into this long straight. This is the closest I've seen them for a little while. Let's see if he can go for it one more time. Needs a really good exit here. I think, no, Levchenko's just got that little bit of a better one and just pulls away quite nicely. But at the same time, Vesemel, he's actually recovered, considering the couple of almost spinalas he's had. Recovering to be in
Speaking of spinalas, Walker.
Yeah.
Walker's just spun. He's dropped way down the order.
Let's see if I can catch it on the replay. Ah, it's a bit too far back. Yeah, he's currently stationary on the track as well, making sure he doesn't get in any way. That is how you do a rejoin. If you're watching Bendit, that is how you do a rejoin.
Yeah, that's a shame for Gareth. He was doing pretty well, you know, and had a reasonably good race. He was in the top 10, and now he's down to 14. So it looks like that'll probably be his finishing position. The guys up in front are just a little bit too far up front for the time remaining. But yeah, unfortunate.
Oh, Brass! Actually, almost goes into the side there of Clerk. Could have very nearly been a big collision, but actually they're still staying at it, and it looks like Abrass is that little bit faster. Is keeping up with the Aston, but a little bit of a wobble there might compromise the exit that he needs. But in fairness, that's actually opened it up a fair bit. This could be a send from Abrass here, coming down the hanger straight. Not quite close enough to go for it just yet, but only 2/10. You never know how this one could pan out. In fact, I just want to go on cockpit for it as we come into Stowe corner. Got to make sure that the right-hander is smooth. A little bit of a mistake there on the brakes from de Klerk. This could be Abrass giving it some... No, not yet. Have to sit back for now. Maybe
yeah,
later.
Abrass has been been catching up. Oh, no, there he goes. Oh, he just backed out. But yeah, Brash has been catching by a couple of tenths a lap now. And last lap he gained 3 tenths over Clerk. So he's definitely there and he could make the moves very soon. But as I said earlier, catching is one thing. Overtaking is an entirely different skill set that you need to master.
Yeah, it really is. I'm keeping up here, actually. Again, looking for a very tight line. Might actually go for a send here. Yes, he has. Down the inside. And he's actually got it done as well. De Klerk, I don't think, has a retaliation point. No. So good move from Brass. It was a very last second, but he did it.
It was very last second. I think Klerk probably gave him a little bit too much room, but I think, you know, you've got to leave the space, and I think he just kind of got scared out of taking that turn, so he, in effect, let him through. But as we said, the Brass definitely did have the speed, and so will he catch up to Softic before the end of it?
And also to mention, Thompson, who was our P2 driver, has actually dropped to P5, has had some sort of issue. I don't see any damage, so it must have just been a loss of rear end that's caused him to fall down to P5. Unfortunately, did miss that. In all of that chaos that was kicking off, I didn't see what happened to him.
Yeah, and Catan's, you know, he's dropped all the way down as well, as we spoke about earlier. But I'm having a look. Did I see a pop-up for driver 155 getting a penalty as well, or was that just my eyes deceiving me?
So far, we've had 3 penalties. So Catan in P18 with 15, Chambers with 15, and Parties, who now has 5 remaining of what has been served already. Very wide line there from Stokes. Watch how he goes into this corner. Very late on the brakes. Does actually carry a fair bit of momentum through the corner. Does catch right up to Levchenko. But then Levchenko just gets such a good exit here that he just starts running away. And Stokes is just watching it going, how do I compete with this? What am I meant to do? And I think the honest answer is you need to shift up earlier. Oh, I'm actually going for it here. Oh, I thought that was going to be a Send of Dreams. The Nissan looks so uncomfortable through there. And he's actually run really wide there. This could be Stokes' opportunity, but he also has to look in his mirror, because if you look at the top of the screen, Vesemel really close to the back of these could very easily go for a send if anything goes wrong between the two of them, or we could end up with a big spectacular crash, and I'm totally not jinxing it at all.
Yeah, Vesemel's doing well to recover after his mistake, but Stokes, yeah, you know, it looks like he's kind of, I think he's hitting the throttle a little bit too hard in the slower corners, and it's just causing a little bit of a slide before the TC kicks in, and it's slowing his launch off, and that's where Levchenko seems to be much better right now. He's able to just get that nice and smooth and take away, and but now look at this. Stokes is as close as he's ever been coming into these corners, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to make the move here. This is pretty fast, this corner. It's not going to make a dive, and he doesn't. But yeah, Levchenko is now right on the back of him.
Vesemel actually got really close to Stokes there. I mean, he may actually go for the move on this straight. Oh, again. Oh, my word. Oh, Levchenko's gone. No, just lost the rear end, and that's him off and into the gravel. Let's see if he did actually connect with the wall. I'll tell you something. This is a rejoin. He's kept himself clean. There's not been any dramas, actually. Before I do, I want to quickly just check a Vesemel as well, because he might actually go for a send here. There was no contact with the wall for Levchenko. Back end. It just seems that for Vesemel, struggling to just keep it pointing in the right direction. Yeah,
and I'm just having a look as well that, you know, Stokes, we've seen you try and attack lap after lap after lap. Now we need to see you defend.
Yeah. I think Fredriksson is. Oh, he is. Fredriksson is under pressure. Gareth going for a move around the outside. Not going to work out for you there, but he's going to stick it down. He's come for the switchback of dreams here. The Audi's gone right off the track. Gareth trying to get alongside of him. If he could stick it around the outside here, which is going to go later on the brakes, he's going to get right round, and the Audi will give more than sufficient space. And unless he gets an absolute god-tier exit, which he hasn't, then that is Gareth now back into P13. If he can somehow magic his way into a P12, which is possible because the car's ahead of him, potentially got issues forming any minute now, could in fact be a nice reverse pole for him there if he goes into the next race. Well,
they should deliberately try to magic up a jinx. Oh, they've got issues coming.
Yeah.
The issue coming is Gareth. Gareth is catching these boys rapidly.
I honestly think Gareth had a confidence issue before he had the Spinella. Once the Spinella hit, that's the point of when Gareth then goes, I've got nothing to lose, I'm just going to push really hard and see what happens. And that's exactly what happened. You know, he's really chucking in that pace now, starting to recover what he needs to, and fantastic result from him if he can get that P12. 1.3 seconds currently, according to the last update. We'll keep an eye on it when they do, in fact, go once more. And you got Tudor, who actually, Leclerc is in the pits. If we can catch that real quick. Here we go. He has got Tudor chasing him down. He's going to have a little look. Oh, what a dodge! And actually, Leclerc has just pulled over.
Yep. I wonder what's happened there. Let's...
He's just pulled over.
Although, this, as you said, is Gareth getting that reverse pole. Leclerc in the pits promotes Gareth to P12.
My reverse curse worked?
It seems to have.
We'll take that. We'll take it. Gareth, enjoy your pole, courtesy of me. Happy birthday, mate.
I wonder if Leclerc had some...
Oh, no!
Oh, Vesemaire's round again!
He's caught it. Well, sort of. Not as good as his others.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that 180.
Very nice, but can he get back out and without causing issue? Look, I mean, he's got plenty of gap, so...
You've got to feel for him, right? Because he's honestly had such a rough race so far. He's spun 3 times. He's got to do it again. That's the worst part. He's got to do it one more time. Yeah. It is a huge F.
But that should allow Stokes some breathing room and secure that P6. He's had a really good race. But yeah, just go and touch back on Leclerc. That's... I'm going to imagine that's some sort of failure in terms of like maybe his wheels stopped working, or maybe he just didn't fuel the car properly. Like that seems like a very strange retirement. Yeah.
I mean, especially with it being that he just pulled himself off the track and then stopped. Like that, it definitely had pedals. But actually, Octane here going for a move on Kononov down the inside. Should have this already locked in by the time we get to it. We are, of course, on the final lap. We do have to wait for Darren to bring himself through. Look here from the McLaren to try and retaliate on the Bentley driver, but no retaliation here. Octane has got into P15. It'll all be for nothing, really, because that penalty will actually knock him back down, I believe, 2 places. No, not 2 places, just one. Oh no, I'm right too. Williams is there as well.
Places. Yep, 2 places. I think Wagner's a lap down though, so it probably won't get caught with that.
Well, race 1 has been fantastic. I mean, we've had a couple of crashes, we've had a couple of spinalas, we haven't had a safety car, and I'm hoping that we can continue in the same form. We are going to be here with our man Darren King, who not only did he pole it in the qualifying, he's then led every lap since the race started, hasn't had any issues, not that we've been able to see, and is actually now carrying himself round the final couple of corners to secure the first win in the European Sprint Series in Split Blue.
And not that it's counted, but also has the fastest lap.
Yep, 57.480. What a lap that was.
Yep, what a drive. What an absolute sensational drive from King.
Oh, Barnett on the podium. I mean, you almost nailed it, because you said Darren and Barnett on the podium, and we got a McLaren, but not quite the McLaren.
Yeah. Wrong McLaren got there, but
yeah, no, the right McLaren, because he's got 720 as number. So
well, true. You did want this one. Well, we shared the top 3. Let's say that.
Yeah. You know, credit to Vesemaiре as well. Persevered. Had a couple of too many spinalas, and what could have been had he actually not had those issues. Could have been potentially on that top 5 very easily. But yeah, P8 for him. Tudor, who did get rotated, will cross the line P9. And you got Gareth, who retaliates. Actually gets himself a P10.
Did we have people disconnect already?
I don't think they've disconnected. I think they've actually had to box. I mean, look, Brass hasn't even crossed the line. And he's in the pits already.
Yeah.
I think it's a miscalculation on the fuel, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Gareth, P10.
Yeah. Bigger points and a P3 going into... I mean, you kind of want to be P12, don't you? If you think about it, you kind of want that P12. If you're going to be down there, you want P12 just so you can then secure pole position. But at the same time, gotta give him some credit.
Yeah, you know, he had a pretty good race, and then he had a mistake, which we don't know exactly what happened. We kind of only caught the end of it, but had an instant. Let's call it a mistake until we know further, and then really recovered. He rejoined the track safely. He put down some great pace and was able to pull himself back into the top 10.
Really good going. Cannot complain one bit. Right, that is race 1 done. We are now going to move into the second qualifying session, where we'll be getting ourselves strapped in and ready to go for... Basically, we're finding out who's going to be where outside of the top 12. So, you know, obviously, those that are already in the top 12 will be flipped to reversed, and they will continue as they were. There we go. Yeah, flipped to reversed as they were. So if you finished P12, then you will be P1 going into the next race. But of course, if you are P1, you're starting P12. So Darren's got a hell of a battle on his hands in order to get through these drivers. You know, there's nothing to shake a stick at. These guys are pretty damn quick. So, give them the fair due. This could be one hell of a fight going through this.
Yep, they've... to be honest, pretty much everyone there had, you know, moments of the race that really commendable. And they could really be proud of and be like, right, here are the things I've done well, here's what I'm going to do to improve. I think everyone can really hold their heads up high on how well they've done in that race. The people who ran out of fuel, that's obviously something you need to take into consideration for this one. But overall, pretty damn good.
I got 2 things I need to address before we get any further with this qualifying session. If you haven't already clicked that like button, make sure you do it right now. It doesn't cost you a thing at all, and it makes a massive difference to Octane Online Racing. Of course, we are also 13 subs away from 800 subs on Octane Online Racing. So if you enjoy ACC, if you enjoy good racing, why would you not click subscribe? Do it right now, free of charge again. Doesn't cost you a thing, and it makes the world of difference to these guys. So do it ASAP. I will give you a smooch if you do it. Promise.
Oh my! How can you turn that down, guys?
This is it. Also, is anybody else super hot?
Yes, but you know, unfortunately, not everyone has been blessed with my genes. So.
Are they
no,
Levi's?
seriously, my jeans are hot. Like, Jesus, I need to take these off.
I was waiting for that. Okay, so quali 2, those in the top 12, they don't have to qualify, but they can. Do you think that... I'm just trying to think about who's outside of the top 12 and who's actually going to really pull themselves back here, because there was a lot of people that had issues in that first race and had to bring themselves back into it again. I mean, Gareth was the prime example, but he's in that top 12. You know, he did have a lot of issues, did have to really fight back, and had a moment where he was stationary on the track for a considerable amount of time, but did manage to push himself back into it and go one more time. So yeah, so it'd be good to see. I have to wait. I just don't even know. Catan, maybe. Catan had a really good run. Just had a bit of contact with Tudor, which caused him to fall down the order and also give himself a penalty. Less than ideal, but maybe this is the race he retaliates, recovers, and brings himself back into it.
Yeah, you know, it certainly had some pace, and it would be nice to see him up there. But again, just a slight mistake, and it really cost him some good, you know, positions, and dropped. Did I think he finished 18th? I think it was in the last race. So well down the order from what realistically we kind of thought he would do with the pace he was showing.
So here's something for you to think about. When it comes to moving from race 1 to qualifying 2, the track temp has increased significantly. We're now up to 25 degrees on track. Which, again, you know, I was talking about how if you practice in the 31, 32 degrees and then you flick to like a 15-degree track, it feels like you've got an incredible amount of grip. Obviously, that works the complete opposite way when you go back up in the temperatures. So to go up to 25, granted it's only 10 degrees, but that still makes a substantial difference where if you haven't made the adjustments to your tyre pressures, and if you've not made the adjustments to your brake ducts, that can affect the tyre pressures and actually cause them to be too high, and you'll have back-end step-outs, very much like what we saw from Vesemel earlier on. If he can recover and not make the same mistakes he made in the first race, then expect to see Vesemel really fight hard when we get into race 2. I'm just wondering though, what will the temperatures be there? Because again, that makes a massive difference.
Yeah, and someone else I kind of want to see what they're going to do is Livchenko, because he was defending really well and he had some pretty good pace as well. He was right up there. What's he going to do in this this race too? You know, is he going to redeem himself from the mistake that kind of cost him a lot of positions?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not easy fighting among the way these guys are. You do have to really keep at it. And you see a Braus has actually put a time on the ball. So Wagner has the fastest currently with a 2 minutes 0.7. And the Braus right behind, but we are obviously only waiting for those outside that top 12 to qualify. So we'll see whether or not Parties, who had a rough first race, let's be honest, did have contact and did have to fall right down to the back of the grid. Even got a penalty for the troubles as well. Maybe this is the recovery, and that's what the benefits of this format is. You can, if you had a rough first race, forget it. Break that mentality. Don't let it sit on your head. You got to move into the next race and just think about, okay, yeah, fair enough. I've got a lot of work to do here, but the qualifying 2 allows me to bring myself, maybe even take a P13, which would be fantastic. And then you got to then push yourself even further, and then maybe snatch out that top 10. You know, getting the top 10 in the first race that's something to brag about, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, everyone's still kind of finding their feet. You know, you'll have been practicing for this, but you've not really seen your competition go, you know, everything, you know, putting it all on the line, and you know, being able to do that first race, get into gear and really show what you're capable of and getting that top 10 and just having it all work out correctly and, you know, smoothly for you. It's a big step, because, you know, you've everything's an unknown in the first race. Now you know a little bit more about your opponents, you know a little bit more about the pace, you know a little bit more about your relative pace to your opponents. You know where you're strong and where they might potentially be weak. So you've got a lot more information moving into the second race that you just didn't have before.
Yeah, exactly. I think the other thing to think about is when it comes down to battling with other people, it's really hard to sort of read what the other opponent is doing, because you want to try and stay behind them and understand what they're doing. Where are their weaknesses? What are they? Where can I attack? What is my opportunity? Where am I struggling is the other thing. And then you got to take that all into consideration whilst you're trying to race, and then focus on making sure you don't then have an issue moving into the second race. And just lap it all up, you know, have a laugh with it and see if you can make some beautiful overtakes like we saw from Gareth earlier, actually, for that matter. He had a fantastic overtake. I believe it was on the Bentley. Hopefully, he'll do it again.
Yeah, hopefully. I was actually just looking. I was on board with Parties there, and he's really struggling down at the Brooklands. He just does not seem to be kind of nailing that upright. You know, his back end's twitching. I think, to be honest, he's not squaring the car up properly to the corner as he's coming into it, and he's actually just made a complete bottle of Magus and Beckett's as well. Maybe the setup is just completely wrong for what he's trying to do right now, but yeah, he seems to be really struggling with the car right here.
Catan has set the new fastest lap, so it's a 1:59.580. A good run from him then to achieve that. We've got to see now what Kononov can do. The McLaren do only have a few cars left to get their lap times in, so Softic, Parties and Kononov do need to get a lap on the board. But looking at the times, top 3 relatively close together, a bit further up for de Klerk, Williams and Chambers. And obviously the others, the top 12 that don't need to worry about this for now. I want to stay with this McLaren though, because we do only have a couple of corners to go, and I really want to see... A lot of people struggle on that left-hander. For me, I struggle on this right-hander coming out of it, the final corner. Getting on the throttle at the right time is so crucial, especially because it's a really quite a long run up towards turn 1. Copse Corner is quite a fun corner to take, especially in the GT3s. And Kononov goes into P4. Fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good run there. yeah, going back to everyone kind of needing to learn. The clerk actually as well, when he had the move made in onto him. Again, he kind of just backed out completely and just let I think it was Abras through. So yeah, now he knows that he'll potentially go for that dive. Is he going to try and defend it better? Maybe take the inside line. You know, there's all these things that you'll learn as you're racing side by side with these people.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important for you to properly focus that on that. But yeah, Catan, he is coming through the final corner to hopefully improve his lap time. I don't see a delta difference. Apparently 1.1 up might even be so much better. Coming to the line then, 158.4. Catan is feeling himself. He's taking that pole for qualifying 2. And he's running with it. 1.4 second gap to Wagner. I think Catan is somebody who should have been in that top 10 in the last race. Just got a little bit too carried away, it looked like to me, with Tudor. Obviously, the stewards did feel as though it was a bit aggressive, and a penalty was issued to Catan. But this is redemption now. This is time for Catan to properly put it on track.
Do you want redemption? He's currently nearly 3/10 up on this lap already.
That's mental. That is mental to be feeling that good after doing a 58.4. Yeah, that was, I think 58.4 would have been P6, P7 in Q1.
Obviously, the temperatures are different, so
true.
Probably higher than that if it was down at the correct temperature. But yeah, 4/10 up right now. He is loving life.
Pole for Q1 was 56.9. Joe. All right, chat, I want to hear from you. I want to see who you think is going to win this next race. Can Darren, who will be starting P12 in this next race, will Darren be able to recover and take it all the way through the field to get that race win again? Or will somebody else who's a bit further up the field be able to take that win overall? I want to hear from you guys. Let me know who you're backing going into this race. And meanwhile, Badger's going to tell me who he's backing for this race.
I'm going to tell you straight up right now, King is not winning this next race.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, the pace he showed was fantastic, but getting through 11 drivers to get to the front of the field, I just don't see it happening. Oh, and Catan makes a slight mistake in the final turn. He was 4/10 up. Oh, is it going to even improve?
Slightly slower. Oh no, it does improve.
It just improved. Oh, 4/10 up, and then he made that mistake in the final turn. That's heartbreak right there.
That would have been a 58.0 as well, which would have been fantastic. Okay, so we are now moving into the race 2. Something to bear in mind is that the drivers will be getting called forwards to get into their grid positions, and they do have to draw. So this is actually quite a bit of a meme when it comes to the Asia Pacific region. Is Neil, or Mullock, as you may know him, who's the owner of OOR, has actually offered to give everybody, whichever split does it, give everyone some stubby holders. Which I actually didn't know what a stubby holder was. I thought it was those pop socket things that go on the back of your phone. They're not. Apparently stubby holders are like these holders that go around your drink of choice, like a can or whatever. I didn't know this. They actually look pretty cool. But some OOR stubby holders to the drivers of the split, whoever make a proper straight line. So they all have to line up in a straight line perfectly if they want to do it. Now the Asia Pacific region, being the hilarious people they are, go out of their way to make it as unstraight as possible going into it. And I would like EU to be organised. I would like for us to show we can be organised, and despite what happened with Brexit and all, I mean, we can ignore that. We can do a straight line, right?
I mean, if everyone here was British, then we would know how to queue, but unfortunately there's people from all over Europe, so I'm not too sure if we can pull it off. However, I do think it's hilarious that the Australians are offering out the stubby holders. Can I just...
Why?
Just because that is a very Australian thing.
Is it? A stubby holder?
Yeah, it's a very, very Australian thing.
I had honestly never heard of them prior to that. What is the benefit to a stubby holder?
I mean, like, you know the way, like, if you get like a cold bottle or can or something out of the freezer or whatever, the fridge, and then you stick it in, and then like eventually it starts to like condense, and your hand gets all wet, and it makes the table all wet and stuff.
Yeah.
Stubby holder, you don't get that. It's all sorted. It's all good for you.
Alright, let's have a little look. Oh, we're looking... I mean, it's not perfect. Looking pretty decent, though. Come on. Do you know what? This is actually a really good start. This is a really good start. Come on, people. Don't let me down. Straight line. Straight line. I mean, it's not perfectly straight, but I tell you something. Asia Pacific. Eat your heart out. Oh, and then there's one.
Oh,
Who's
King.
this?
King.
Is it?
Oh,
And then, yeah, come on. Who's that? 744? Who are you? Onanov? Unbelievable. I am disappointed.
do you think we would get them as well? Do you think we qualify to get a little copy holder?
Stubby holder, you mean? If you're gonna say it, you gotta at least say it right?
What did I say?
Copy holder. Copy holder, I think you said copy holder.
Oh, cool.
I'm
tired, guys, okay? It's been a long day.
I'll forgive you. I don't know. You have to ask the big man himself.
Neil, if you're in the chat, let me know. I want a very Australian stubby holder.
I've seen one and I know what they look like. Told you, Raggy, it'll
get
never
some
happen. It will
fantastic
happen. I will make it happen. Trust me, it's happening. We need to make this happen, Budget. We need to have a word with each of them and we need to bribe them in some way and just be like, it's Darren.
Stubby holder.
It's bloody Darren. The day we do it is when Darren's not there. I'm telling you. That's the day we do it.
But yeah,
Aussie.
You can get some really nice ones. I actually got I got my uncle one before that was womanly. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay, you're treading on thin ice here, but I'm interested to see how you get out of this one.
I'm just saying it was the female body was utilised for his stubby holder.
Well, okay, we'll see. Race 2, a bit longer, 40-minute long race. There's going to be a nice, longer, not quite a sprint, but more of a marathon, really. And I think we're going to be seeing. Stop cursing the lineup. I'm cursing one person, okay, and that's because they don't know how to get in a straight line. And considering they're British, I expect them to know better. You know what I mean? Queuing is our thing, right? If we can't get queuing right, we suck at being humans, and that is enough for me. Alright, give me your top 3. Give me top 3.
Top 3. I think, you know what? I think Gareth. Let's go. His confidence, I think, will be back up there after his instant. I'm going to say Gareth is going to be on P1, Vesemir in P2, and Doc P3. In fact, no, Thompson P3. Let's go for that. I'm ready.
Strap in. Strap in. P1. Gareth. P2. Darren King. I'm telling you, he's making it to P2. Oh, it's a 4-minute race. Nah, alright, let's scrap that. P1, Darren King. P2, Gareth. P3, Vesemir. If he can keep the car bloody straight. That's the main thing. Alright, we are going to get underway with race 2 here. I think because of how long it takes to get to the start line from the getting the grid in the right order, I believe the green flag doesn't actually go until almost Cop's Corner. So we'll see now as Fredrickson is the one leading us away, starting on pole position, going into race 2. Can Jay Wright or even Gareth have a little look-see down the inside and get us strapped off with this race? Yes, that made sense to me. Shut up.
I mean, I'm not judging.
Ready? And there we go. We are away. Actually, Jay Wright has actually got a really good start. Oh, Gareth having a bit of contact there. That was with Vesemir, it looked like. Didn't quite get the start he needs. He's being mobbed by people. He's lost so many places. Everyone is just piling around him. We've got the Lamborghini down the inside as well, alongside Levchenko's gone right off the track there. Big mistakes from him. His rejoin is clean, he's safe, and he's actually going to slot right in next to the bloody same car he's been fighting all race in the first race, and they are still wheel to wheel. Watch out for Tudor, though, because he's actually looking to go 3 wide going into Stowe Corner. This is going to be a disaster if it goes wrong, but I think We've got the faith, we've got the skill, and Jay Wright's going down the inside, almost goes into the side of the Audi. Fantastic run, and he's actually into race lead. And Vesemil down 2 cars now, trying to stick it around the outside of the Audi. There's surely no way he's going to stick that one out. He's not going to get it. Oh, they condense, there's contact. That's the Audi pointing in the wrong direction. Tudor's been caught up in another incident. More cars piling into it, and I would not be surprised if that is a safety car. We've had 3 cars contacted. Not quite had a safety car. I think we're still... Yep, safety car is still in the pits. We are still going. We are still racing. And Joe Wright is your race leader.
And through all that, Gareth suffered massively. He was trying to make a move, stick there on Levchenko. And then, unfortunately for him, with the contact in the chicane, he got massively caught up with that and fell way down the order. So, harsh there for Gareth. But, yeah, it's all turned up pretty well for Wright and Levchenko.
Yeah, the 2 Lambos now, who have got themselves quite up the field. One of them is Barnett, who started quite far down, remember. I think he was P8 at the beginning of this race, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong. Correct me if I am wrong. Jay Wright, though, is race lead, and he's already got 1.2 second gap, so he doesn't have to worry about that toe. Just has to worry about making sure that his laps are clean and consistent, and then he'll be fine from there on out. It looks like a safety car has been called. The drivers have slowed down. Yep, safety car is on his way out. But we will be bunching the grid right back up again. I'm going to have a quick look, see if I can just very swiftly get a nice 30 seconds cut back. See if we can see what may have caused the issues. No, nothing obvious to me. I think the safety car was called to sort the grid back out again. We are going to continue as we are. Safety car has been deployed, has been confirmed. So... we get to see the WA car once more.
WA car. That'll never not be fun. That'll never not be fun. I will do that every time.
We have 3 cars in the pits. That's Williams, that's Tudor, and Fredrickson, all having repairs performed. There is no mandatory pit stop, so they didn't have to pit. They're doing it because their car is not safe to drive, and they will be. Sadly, might be able to get themselves back onto the back of this grid in time.
It is a very long lap, so yeah, they could do. Obviously, the safety car will not wait for them to catch back up, so they will need to get a move on under safety car conditions as safely as possible, but they might be able to catch.
Well, I think all 3 of them, yeah, all 3 cars are now moving. They can go flat out should they want to bunch back up to the rest of the grid. And that's the thing. Now, here is the, it's a long race, 40 minutes. Obviously, we do have 36 minutes of those remaining. So, even if they are still mentally frustrated, that didn't quite go the way I wanted it to do, I should have really recovered better than that, I shouldn't have had the contact, blah, 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 blah. They can now reset that. And that's ultimately what changes the decent drivers from the really good drivers. Those who are really good, they can break that mentality, reset themselves going into the race, back on the restart, and actually carry it all the way through, really demonstrate what they're made of. But I'll tell you something, props to Joe Wright. He was fantastic on that race start, and he nailed it to get right back up there to P1.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and this is one of the great skills that you need as well as a driver, as everything was kind of going a bit mental around him, and he just managed to pick his way through. He knew he could see what was the danger that was forming, managed to get himself nice clean air and moved right up to the front.
Ah, yes, Jussi Kaki is the driver for the safety car today. A quick little run on board with him as he's sprinting back to the pit lane. A race with this guy in the rookies. It's nice to see that he's bringing himself into the Sprint Series, helping us out by being the safety car. Thank you very much for that. You are the nice guy. The juice man. Yes, the juicy. All right, Joe Wright. Wow, it did not wait. Absolutely gone. Sent it immediately, and look at the gap already. Levchenko was caught napping. So is everyone else, to be honest. No one capitalized on the jump there that Wright got. He's already pieced out. He's bought his tickets. He's running away.
Yep, that was a great start there, and as you say, everyone was kind of caught napping, but he did make it run slightly wide there, so Levchenko maybe start being able to pull back in, but this is, oh, Stokes, oh, that was quite a jump in the corner there. So, yeah, everyone's actually done pretty well on this restart. And King, though, P7. You predict he will be P1.
Look at Barnett here. He's actually alongside of his teammate, and you also have to keep an eye out for Thompson in that McLaren, who's in the tow of not just one Lamborghini. He has the option of two if he wanted to. He's decided to look for the inside. It's going to be Stokes holding it down for now, but Barnett looks to get the switchback of dreams. He's going to flick over to the left-hand side, does run off the circuit, so won't be able to go for a maneuver right there. Actually, Thompson is coming in pretty hot pretty quickly. Vesemel on the back of this as well. The grid is pretty condensed here. Darren King is only a couple of cars behind this. And actually, Joe Wright, yeah, he had a fantastic run off the start. Did get a really good restart. But actually, his race start here isn't that good. He did lose a fair bit of time to Levchenko. Levchenko has recovered and is well within the tow range. And actually, keep an eye on Stokes, because remember, these guys were fighting hard in race 1. And it's literally the exact same scenario. Oh my word, he nearly rear ends him. Never gives him the kiss of death, and he's actually trying to stick himself down the inside here into the left-hander. Can't quite get through. Levchenko has covered it off. But look at the condensing that's going on around it. This is now Vesemel losing out to Thompson, who may lose out as well to King here, who's got the run of dreams coming through this. Look at this. He's going alongside Vesemel. There's not a lot he can do about this now. The pace in the Ferrari is so much better coming out of it. He may even lose to Ogden as well, as Ogden's going to slip down the inside potentially. There's a gap there. He's going to find it. He's going to put himself in the gap. Vesemel does lose control just a touch. Does end up finding himself, again, still wheel to wheel. It is going to continue being Ogden. And I think Vesemel may just fend Ogden off. Yes, he has, finally. But Vesemel is in big trouble. Levchenko sets the fastest lap, which is a big send there to Wright, letting him know I'm coming for you. And now Ogden's improved. Yeah,
Ogden was like right alongside coming into that turn there. And to be honest, probably should have backed out a little bit earlier. But yeah, through all that, Parties actually went off at Stone. He's dropped well back from the grid now. He's, you know, 6 seconds nearly off the back. So that one mistake's cost him a lot of time, and he's way down the order.
Now look at this beautiful fight that's going on here. You've got Barnett who's closing into Stokes. Stokes is actually doing a really good job of looking at Levchenko, looking on the inside here. Maybe
Fredrickson's off.
What's happened to him? Have a quick peek at him. Quickly go back 15. Oh, he's just lost the rear. Yeah, that's all on him. Oh, did hold the brakes. Fair play to him. Get himself out of the way as well. Nice, safe rejoin there from him. Fair play.
Action all over on this.
Oh, look at Levchenko. He could not be any closer to the Ferrari if he tried. He's almost in the car. That's how close it is. A banner. Oh my word, a mistake has been made, and that's sent off the McLaren into the background. Darren King just goes through and takes 2 places. Easy peasy. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, Barnett just made a little mistake there, and that caused big issues there for Thompson. Now Darren is up 2 places, already looking to gain the 3rd. And he's in P4 here. Bear that in mind. P4. He started P12 literally a few laps ago.
Levchenko's just made a move and he's taking the lead.
Yeah. Fantastic from him then. Joe Wright, who had a really good lap 1, let me just say, in this race. Oh, looking down the inside. Go on, Stokes. Sticking his nose right down in. Trying to get alongside again. I think Wright will fend him off. Yes, he has. And Darren, he's actually going, oh, P3? Go on, then. I'll have some of that, please.
Yeah. A little bit of teammates side by side there now. It's 2x2.
Where's the Noah's Ark? That's all we're missing. Darren King, 159.5. He's really checking down the pace and going down the inside. Oh, there's contact. Stokes is round. A mistake has been made, and he's done enough to keep himself out of the way of the other cars. But yeah, that's not what you want to see. That's unfortunate. He tried it, but yeah, I think his ambition was a bit bigger than his execution.
Yep, ambition greater than adhesion, as Martin Brundle always likes to say. Oh, King. Yeah. Okay, that's knocked him like right back in it. Oh, and another big contact. Oh my god, it's everyone contacting into King right now as he's trying to recover from that slight mistake he made on his teammate, and he's lost a couple of positions and knocked another driver off the track. Barnett, he's now getting absolutely swarmed by everyone that's went past.
And look at Vesemel as well. He's actually fighting with Thompson. This must be the roller coaster emotions for these guys, because they were fighting for a P6, P7 a second ago. Now they're back up to a P4, P3 territory, and Darren, who looked like he was about to just take everyone, and then Yeah, it falls down the order. But look at Vesemir here down the inside of the McLaren. Oh my word, there must have been a pubes hair between the two of them. That was so close. And they're still wheel to wheel coming into it. This is only going to favour Vesemir because the McLaren will not be able to maintain the momentum through the corner. Yes, it will not, and that is him through. But look at Darren. He might actually go for a bit of a yeetus McYeetus on Thompson here.
Yeah, it's a very big move to make, but you know he's making it stick, and that's him back up another position. And yeah, Vesemir is going to have King right in his gearbox in moments. And just a quick update, it looks like Declerc has dropped himself out of this race. He was having issues with his PC, so he has went into the pits and retired.
F's in chat for Declerc, another rookie, now sprint racer. Unfortunately, though, like you say, technical difficulties can plague any of us, and they have plagued all of us at some point in time. I, unfortunately, am no exception to that. But, you know, right here, we have 28.5 minutes remaining of the second race here for Split Blue. We'll have Split Red after this. So, if you haven't already clicked the like button and subscribe, I think this is probably the best time to do so. I mean, the action deserves it, right? Let's be honest. This is perfect.
But it looks like he's trying to make a move here on Abras as well. It looked like he was going to run wide, but he's trying to go into him. Oh, that was brave. That was brave. No. Oh, Abras is off. Oh, it was just... He had the line. He just had to keep it up. It looked like Bauer was about to pull out, but he was scared into making that mistake, and now he's dropped down the order.
Look at this. 3 wide between Jay Wright, Darren King, and Vesemir. Vesemir is going to be the one who loses out here more than anybody. And actually, we're going to see Thompson as well trying to stick his nose in. We are literally 4 cars, so 5 cars, all very close together. Vesemir looking to come back right here. I think this is on right. Yes, it is. He's trying to stick his nose down the inside, and the Ferrari of Darren has pulled away from all of these now. Has got himself up to P2. And he's going to have to now trace down 3-second gap to Levchenko, he's trying to check out as quick as he can, but knowing the pace that Darren has, can Levchenko hold him back? Because it's one thing catching a car, it's another thing passing. And whilst we've seen a fantastic pass already, you look at Thompson as well. This is still on Joe. This is still on Joe Wright. And also you've got the Honda in there. There's Bauer, there's contact! Oh! No, that's not the way. And unfortunately the Honda gets rotated and gets sent down the order. Bauer facing in the wrong direction. Will resume, I think, right down there in around about P10 territory. Going in his teammate. Oh, he's even further, P11.
And Walker as well also just had another spin, and that's put him back into this pack that was chasing him. And that's unfortunate for him. But yeah, there's a few mistakes being made around. But, I mean, as you say, King, he's now hunting down Levchenko. And Levchenko, we saw in the last race, he was defending well. Can he do that against King, who is proving his speed right now?
Yeah, honestly, Darren has got outright raw pace, but you saw what Levchenko was doing with Stoke, right? They continue fighting the entire time. Nobody can make a move on the other person. But as soon as anybody gets anywhere near him, he's got the widest car. He's already a big chungus. He's already been nicknamed the big chungus. But then to have somebody who's as rapid as Darren hunting you down, how do you fight that? How do you... I mean, he's going to do it, let's be honest. He's going to have to. He hasn't got a choice about it, but a 2.2 second gap is what he currently sits at. I think that's dropping every sector update. Last lap from Darren at 159.5. Last lap from Levchenko, a 2:04.
Yep, 9/10 a lap that's coming down. That's a large pace difference. Currently, King is the only person that's in the 159s.
All that because Barnett is on soft tick here, down the inside. I think he's going to actually get his position, taken away. Although this is favouring soft tick through here. Yep, he's got it back. And actually keep an eye for Thompson, because Thompson may get the switchback of dreams that he needs on that Lambo. Went out a little bit wide. Shouldn't have given him any warnings of such, but I don't want to jinx it when I say this. So far, we've not had any penalties. We may see one because the stewards. We did have a safety car. Oh, what a move from Thompson!
Great
that
move.
Was I didn't even go for 2. Oh, he is!
Oh my
Big
lord,
boy, Thompson! Is he going to keep that? I think he is. You know.
Thompson,
Softic's coming back.
What are you using for brakes?
Do you know that McLaren is one of the worst cars for brakes? How has he done that? That's fantastic. Absolute beautiful move there from Thompson. Yeah, take a bow, mate. Well played.
That was excellent. Honestly, like, It was an impressive enough move just getting Barnett, but then being able to pull it off and get the double. My lord, that was incredible.
Darren, I think Darren is already in tow range. Yes, he is. He's already in tow range of Levchenko. So, I mean, a 158.3 will be sending shivers down Levchenko's spine right now. Last lap from Levchenko, 59.8.
Yeah, that's quite the pace difference. But as we said, Levchenko did make his car nice and wide. So can he do it again? Obviously, King is a lot faster than Stoke was. Oh, this looks like it's done move already. King is right on the back, in the gearbox, in the slipstream, in the toe. But Levchenko staying defensive, keeping that inside line, not letting King make his move. He's going to be like, if you want this move, you're going round the outside.
Oh, and he's even held it back through there as well, making sure there was nowhere for Darren to go. And this is what we were talking about. The race one, Levchenko, with his elbows being very firmly pointed out. I mean, he hadn't had any contact there with Darren, but he definitely left no room for Darren to slip down the inside, and that is fair racing. That is perfect. Exactly what we want to see from Levchenko. But here's the problem. He's got to do it for another 23.5 minutes. And that's if there isn't an additional lap at the end of it, depending on when they cross the line. So Levchenko is under so much pressure. Mistake from Darren, but he's caught it. He's actually keeping it alongside. He might even go for a maneuver around the outside here. This is going to be so difficult for Darren. Later on the brakes, looking for the switch back again. Levchenko knows how to protect that. Darren's going to try and stick his nose in. There's still nowhere to go. Switch back once again from Darren. He's going to try and get the run all the way through the corner. Nope, not getting it done. It's going to have to be done in the inside for, is it Brooklands, I think? Or I get them wrong way around. Whichever the first one is.
Brooklands.
Brooklands, yeah, I was right. Cool. And,
yeah, I think you're right. I think you will have to try and make the move stick there, but the problem is that the kind of natural line for that is, you know, you're going straight down down straight, and then you turn into the corner before you hit the brake. So you don't really want to be up the inside, or that can be like a nice crunch.
I don't have enough eyes for this, I'm going to be honest, because there's a fight going on down the field as well. This is for P6. That's currently being held down by the Joe Wright. You've got Barnett hunting him down, Softic hunting him down as well, and then Stokes. We're going to go back up to our race leaders.
Levchenko just made a slight mistake and went a little bit wide, and that's allowed King to get right in the gearbox again, coming into Marcus and Beckett's. But now King makes a slight mistake, going over the curb a little bit too hard. The car gets unsettled and he's lost a little bit of pace, and this is just inviting Vesemir into this fight as well. King right on the gearbox of Levchenko. Levchenko's staying defensive. He's not letting King get up that inside.
This is fantastic. Absolutely what I want to see. And a big move here from Darren. He's going to go alongside of him. This is where Levchenko's going to struggle. Although he's not. He's still defending. This guy's mental. What an absolute fantastic defensive drive from Levchenko. If I had my webcam on right now, you should see my face. I am blown away by this. It's fantastic. And because of how much they're fighting, Vesemir has been able to get involved in this as well. And he's right in there. And a huge blow to Ogden. A 5-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 1. He is currently sat P4. So even if he does manage to get past the 3 cars ahead of him, as Darren's actually getting very close to Levchenko once more. I don't think Levchenko can defend this. So we got Vesemir down the inside of 1. Trying to get around the outside of 2. He's not sticking this. It's not happening. There we go. He's backed out. And oh my word. 2 would have been insane. 1 was still good, especially considering that is Darren King of all people that you're fighting.
Yeah, that's insane. And you know, now this is actually given a good buffer to Levchenko. Vesemir, yes, might try and make the move, but he knows King's right behind him, and King's going to be putting him under pressure. Gives a little bit of a buffer to Levchenko. Now, we've noticed in the last race, Levchenko did eventually crack under pressure during Maggots and Beckett's. Can he be put under pressure into those turns again, and will he crack the same way? That seemed to be the only way around him. But now, Vesemir looks like he's absolutely hunting into these corners here, and it's unbelievable how close these drivers are getting. He's just made the move on King, and he's now already hunting for the lead. Levchenko under immense pressure all the way through the lap.
I mean, I don't want to jinx him when I say this, but Vesemir has actually recovered everything he went wrong in the first race. He's fixed. He's got it all under control now, and this is exactly what we want to see. So, continuing on from the last lap, 20 minutes remaining of this race. And we are going to be seeing Vesemir close in very nicely here with Levchenko. It is slightly favoured here for Levchenko in the straight line speed, but it isn't favoured in the corners, and that's where the Porsche comes into its own. Although Darren King is looking to try to take the toe down the inside here on Vesemir. This is going to be his unless Vesemir can somehow retaliate. I think he has just about done so, but Darren King's right back in there, straight alongside of them. And you've also got to watch out for Octane. Remember, he has got a penalty, so he's going to want to get involved, and he is. He's getting himself alongside the Ferrari, trying to stick through. A little bit of rubbing. No damage, no concern. Everybody's still fine. This is, honestly... Levchenko has to be the defensive king here. He is, honestly... He's taking Darren King's name and rewording it to defensive king, because that is exactly what he's showing us right now, what he's capable of. And Darren might get Vesemel in the same way Vesemel got him.
Yep, and this is it, because everyone seems to have pace on top of Levchenko right now. But Levchenko is a barn door. He is just, no one is getting through this. It's just wide as can be. Like, oh my god, his car placement is absolutely flawless, and his acceleration, his control under acceleration is fantastic, and he's just getting the pace out of the corners that he needs to. And this is forcing all these guys to bunch up behind him, and it's making them fight each other rather than fight him.
You know, the bit I'm loving about this is that we still have all of, 18 and a bit minutes to go. We have another split after this, dude. We get to watch it all over again. This is amazing. Oh, my word. Don't end, please. Vesemel still trying to close in on Levchenko. Levchenko seems to have put himself a little bit of a gap. It is still half a second, but, Levchenko has been driving, honestly, he must be sweating. If we're warm, imagine how warm he is. Unless he's literally racing in a freezer, there is no way that he is not absolutely dripping right now from how hard he's having to defend. He's being tested to his very limit as to how much he can defend. And I said earlier, he's got to do this for 23 minutes. We're 5 minutes down, and he's already holding it. This is fantastic.
Yep, it definitely, if one of these guys gets past him, I don't think he's got the pace to take the move to them, but keeping them behind like this, that's all he needs to do. Oh, that was such a good move there from King as well. And Vesemel just left the door open slightly, and that was all the invitation King needed to be like, yep, I'm taking this, I'm going back for this P1.
Yeah, really good run there from Darren. Yeah, we saw this fight earlier on in the race for about 5 or 6 minutes ago. And now we're seeing it again. Levchenko is going to know the pace that Darren has. I mean, to be honest, Vesemel actually looked like he was faster than Darren at one point in this race. Although Darren seems to be the much more aggressive individual and knows his calculated aggression. Here's the calculated aggression. A big send he wanted. There was almost a turn in there from the Nissan. He's going to lose 2 places. Vesemel's going to stick it through as well. Levchenko needs to be careful. He doesn't run deep, and he hasn't. He is going to hold on to P2, but watch out for Octane here. He is P4. He's actually trying to fight his way through here as well onto Vesemel. He's alongside and a bit further ahead, so he should be able to hold this in, especially with the next corner being a left-hander. But now Levchenko, who's going to have to stay behind Darren, he's got no way through. Vesemel's going to stick it around the outside. Go on, Vesemel, around the outside. Let's see if he can stick it for the left-hander, the right-hander, sorry. Yes, he has. Vesemel, fair play, good recovery. But here's the problem. Now, they have to try and keep up with Darren before he runs away. He was lapping so quick before. He was, what is it, 9/10 a lap faster than Levchenko when they were not being, when he was in free air. Now he's again in free air. Let's see if he can pull that gap away. And here's the bit we've missed here is that there are fights elsewhere on the track, right? Like, we've seen a couple of the cars that have been battling hard that we didn't get to watch any of them because of just how much that fight was raging on. But now we can have a quick peek around. There's a car. It's Stokes still fighting?
So Stokes is in the middle of a fight between himself, Softic, and Walker. So Gareth just heading up the rear of that, which, every single one of them just ran wide there. But, not going to get penalised for that. They're just it shows you just how hard these guys are pushing. But yeah, just touching back quickly on Levchenko,
It was nearly a murder there from Vesemel. He just tickled the butt there of Levchenko, nearly giving him a little bit of a scrub. A bit of a penalty issued there for an unsafe rejoin. I didn't catch who that was.
It was de Klerk, I think.
He's in the pits. That must have been an old penalty because he's been in the pits for a while.
Yeah, he's been in the pits for 8 laps or so, I think. So
I know there's been a fair few incidents the stewards have been busy with going through, but at the same time, there's also been some incredible racing. We're still seeing it now. Vesemel going around the outside again, or trying to, on the Nissan. Not going to get it through. And again, look at Ogden sticking his nose in. Vesemel doesn't want this, and neither. I mean, Ogden wants it, but mainly because he wants to try and force an error from the drivers ahead of him. Because that's realistically the only way that Ogden is going to gain any places here is if he can cover off that penalty. Right now, he still loses out to Thompson behind him.
Yep. And I just want to touch on King though. The move he made on Levchenko was beautiful. He
Yeah.
dummied down the outside, and then as soon as Levchenko moved across to cover it, straight up the inside. It was such incredible. Oh, Vesemir!
Yep.
He's let the back end step out, and that's allowing Ogden to come in here, but Ogden just lets off the throttle there as he was trying to go around the outside, and that's kind of hampered him here coming into this corner. He's not going to be able to make the move stick. But he's right on the gearbox and making the switch back. He's going for it. This is a dangerous place to attempt this move. Who's going to back out first?
Well, I don't see Ogden backing out. He's got a grippier car, and he looks like it's more balanced as well. And he is now up to physically P3, but still net down to P5. Thompson, you can see in the background now, starting to enter the shot here. I actually want to go on board with Vesma. I really want to get a nice, juicy cockpit cam from this when he gets... on the back of it. Here we go. We can see from this angle. Will he be able to stick it around the outside? I don't think he's going to be able to commit. Oh, he's got the pace. Oh, there's contact. There's a bit of wobble there between the two of them, but it is going to be Vesemir sticking it down the inside, going for the hard brake into the left hand. It does have to back out. I think he was worried there that that little contact would potentially have caused some issues. Well, Levchenko hasn't run away from this at all. Whilst they've been scrapping it out, he's still being hunted down. But again, he is the defensive god. Now he's got two cars that want to pass him, and the longer he holds them back like this, the more it's going to be harder for them. And almost Vesemir going into the back of the McLaren did avoid the contact. McLaren, that's Ogden, just taking a very awkward line through there. That slowed them both right down by just trying to avoid any unnecessary fighting. I think this is going to make it worse for them.
Yeah, but this is inviting Thompson into this fight as well. So, you know, Ogden might not be able to get any positions for himself, but he could get positions for his teammate.
Yeah, it would be really good. Down the inside, Ogden still. Vesemir trying to stick it all the way out. Won't be able to get it just yet. We'll have to sit tight for now and just ride this one out. But yeah, Darren is gone. Darren has packed his bags. He's peaced out. He's booked his tickets for a nice little vacation because he is, what is it, 4 seconds ahead now, I think?
Good thing he's already at the airport.
Yeah, he is. We're at them. This is an old airfield, remember?
This is incredible though, how good these drivers are doing against each other, and the battles are everywhere right now. It just looks like Stokes is finally getting in alongside. Is it right? And this side by side here. This is a dangerous move, but makes it stick, and that's put Gareth and Wright alongside each other once more.
Yep, and Wright's gone deep. Gareth goes through. Easy slaps. Joe just made that bit of a mistake there. Now Stokes has a chance to run because Gareth didn't quite get the run out of that corner that he needed in order to really be close. So he is going to have to try and sit back. And actually, Joe Wright is alongside an Aston Martin there. That is Softic, who is trying to find a way through. I think Softic has had a fair bit of contact. I mean, if I'm looking at the front of his car correctly, I think he's got damage. He is very much fighting this. This is where the Aston favours a little bit. It does have the better top speed, just doesn't quite have the acceleration that it needs. But here's the problem, is the way to get through here is ideally by one car going deep, which is exactly what happens from Joe. So maybe Softic can actually get through here. Yes, he is. There you go. I literally called it perfectly. You go deep, you lose a place. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here on Tudor as well. He's managing to try and make the move stick on Fredriksson. And they're getting very nice and close there, but Fredriksson's just holding on. And Tudor falls down a little bit too much after the near contact. Should catch back up again in the chicane, but yeah, nearly made the move stick there around the outside. But again, 15 seconds of penalties, so realistically he's not actually going to be gaining these places anyway, even if he takes them. But obviously, you always want to overtake on track. Always.
Something I missed. Levchenko and Ogden down to P5 and 6.
Oh, yeah.
Must have been contact between them. Just put them down there. But that's very recent. I can try and catch it, but I don't think it will. No, I don't think we're going to get it. I think it's too far back now.
The replay time is 35 minutes and 5 seconds. I will try and bring it up and let you know what happened.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's gone deep again as Levchenko. Ogden won't be able to capitalise on it just yet there. Yeah, the defensive machine, I can only imagine there was some sort of contact. Obviously, Badger will confirm for us when he can find it, see what's happened. But around the rest of the field, yeah, it's a little bit tight going on here. I think Vesemir and Thompson Yep, they are very close together. Thompson have a little look down the inside, going in towards Stowe. Gap is open. Might be able to stick his nose in. Vesemir sees that, tries to shut the door. Isn't going to be able to cover it off too well because it allows Thompson to get a good run. He's trying to squeeze him to the edge of the circuit here through the left-hander, but it's not going to benefit him here because the right-hander should be favoriting the McLaren, although Vesemir has managed to hold pace. This is going to be better for him, but he has run wide. Watch the rejoin. Almost has contact with the McLaren, and he still holds on to P2 for now. This is big points for Vesemir if he can keep it. Things you like to see. Something else you like to see, though, is the fact that we've got Thompson and McLaren also still on the podium. That's things I like to see, at least.
Yep, always like to see the McLarens up there, and I can confirm that there was contact between the Levchenko and Ogden. Ogden basically tried to make a move into the inside in Village, was not a big enough gap, just clipped in the rear end of Levchenko, and unfortunately for those guys, they ended up parting the seas for Thompson and Barnett to just slide on through the middle.
It's a big sad, but it is what it is. That's what I say, I think.
Yeah, I think Ogden probably going to have another penalty coming his way. But, you know, I didn't quite see all the angles just briefly looking at it. I don't know if Levchenko maybe slammed the door shut a little bit too harsh, but we'll leave that to the stewards. But yeah, definitely going to be getting looked at, I imagine.
Yeah, without doubt. Just on board inside the McLaren, watching the battle between him and Vesemir. Oh, he's ran a bit deep there. That's compromised his run through the right-hander. Yeah, Vesemir will have a nice juicy gap after that one. It is sad, but again, it is what it is. Not a lot you can do about it. Bauer, though, is looking to try and fight Levchenko. Ogden did get through Levchenko. Now it's Bauer closing in. See if he can have a little crack at him. Godzilla.
Oh, that's Wagner letting the back end slip out, and oh, that's dangerous there. It looks like... Oh, what's happening here? Yeah, Wagner's back end stepped out, and as he was trying to catch it up again, might have tapped someone, but I couldn't quite see what happened there. But yeah, position through, position gained.
Looks like he's just gained on Joe Wright, I think.
Yeah.
Because Joe's actually sat right alongside of him, just behind. Yeah, he has. Oh, it's Gareth, sorry, that's right behind him. So it must have been contact with him and Joe then, I think. And then Joe got sent back, and oh, Wagner closing that door firmly. Slammed shut, I think is the word. He is still holding on to P10 there.
That was some pretty aggressive defending, but, you know, that's... sometimes what you've got to do. Was he alongside? Maybe. It was pretty close. Definitely nearly took the nose off though.
Yeah, yeah. Imagine if that was like a guillotine in your nose. Yeah, you've definitely lost a bit of skin there, let's be honest. But, you know,
my nose is too big anyway. I'll get it sorted.
Same. Relatable. I want to quickly go back to Thompson because Vesemir looks like he's really struggling to still keep control of this car. And I do again want to go back onto this beautiful onboard shot. This time, same place, but he's going to keep it together this time. Looks to be pretty good.
Do you want to know some tasty information about this battle?
Yes.
The last lap, they were separated by 6 thousandths of a second.
Things you love to hear. Alright, well, it's looking like the McLaren here is going to have the better run going through. But it's going to be the switchback of Dreams. Almost runs into the back of Vesemir. Vesemir is going to hang on. This is still for P2, remember. But whilst they're fighting, Darren is just running away. 9.6, almost 9.8. Oh! Big send. Huge lunge down the inside from Thompson. Vesemir read it. And he's going to be furious that that happened to him. He's going to want to get that position back as quick as he can. Thompson. I mean, there's a send and there's that. That was a huge send. He's squeezing into the edge. Oh, you could argue that was a bit too aggressive, in my opinion. There was no gap there, but Vesemir read it anyway, did back out, and has avoided collision and contact, and will still be able to fight for the remaining 5 minutes. I think this P2 battle will not end until the checkered flag falls.
No, definitely not. And, you know...
Oh, there's contact! No, never mind! It's over! Oh, no.
I was just about to say as well how smart Thompson had played it into the chicane, because he had deliberately parked it on the apex once he'd got it, and he was like, no, you cannot take the switchback on me, I'm parking the car here. And it was just beautifully done. And now, through no fault of his own, a little love tap on the rear spun him round, and he's down in P5. And he's falling out more. He's now full, like, yeah, he's Jesus, he's still not back on the track properly.
Yeah, he's struggling. 10-second penalty has been given to car 115 for causing a collision on lap 16. 115 is Tudor. He's up to 25 seconds. Oof.
Yep, and Tudor's actually potentially in another battle right now. He's right on the back of... Oh, sorry, Fredrickson, I think, is right on the back. Oh, that's gone deep into village there. That could have been a moment, but unfortunately, a slight mistake, and now he's out of the strike zone again. So, yeah, this is a battle as well that could go on Fredrickson, potentially under pressure from Tudor. Tudor does look like he's just taking odd lines and mistakes. I don't know if it's just maybe not familiar as much with the track, or if he's having some issues with maybe potential damage to that. But Fredrickson well off the road there, nearly came back on and swiped Tudor off. That was could have been potentially an unsafe rejoin if they'd made contact, but Tudor now right on the back. Is he going to try and make the dive bomb? He's going tempted around the outside, and here we go. Lining up, going to make the dive. Will he make it stick?
Oh, he's got
forcing
deep.
Fredrickson deep, forcing him deep, playing the mind games. Tudor gets the position.
Yeah, fair play to him. I mean, look, he's had contact. He's been penalised for it, but still, that was fantastic. Let's take nothing away from him. Honestly, well played to him. Well, that was good. That was good. That was a mind punt and a half.
That was perfectly positioning your car in such a way to just strike fear. He broke early. He was making sure that he was hitting that apex and he was going to be safe, but just being there is enough to rattle your opponent.
So Gareth looking for a P10 here. This is Wagner ahead of him. Gonna close in where he can. Trying to attack as soon as an option comes. We are running out of time. 2.5 minutes remaining of this race. 12.1 second gap is what Darren has to Vesemel P2. I'm not sure. I'm sure the stewards are going to investigate that issue, the contact between Vesemel and Thompson. And I could speculate, but I think I'd rather let the stewards do the deciding for it. We'll see what they come out with. But there is a potential that Vesemel may get a penalty for that. So Barnett, who's P3, him again a nice juicy P2.
Yep, and if Levchenko can eke forward just a tenth, he's on the podium if that penalty comes through, potentially.
Well, it depends how big the penalty is.
Yeah.
Because if it's a 5, he's not going to get it. But look at Thompson. Here he comes. Retaliation. What he wants. He wants to try and get a P5, but remember who he's fighting against. He's got the big Chungus alongside him. And yeah, he wonders not simply get alongside the big Chungus and come out on top of it when you're driving a McLaren. You know, the McLaren is a frail thing, to say the least. But when you're coming up against a Godzilla like that, you're going to get squashed like a bug.
Can I just point out how great it is that we have the big Chungus and the Waka?
We just need the rest of them now, don't we? We'll come up with some others for the others. We got the Maka, looking at the Godzilla. Not going to get it yet, though. The run through there is actually favourable for the McLaren rather than the GTR, just because of the extra aero grip that the McLaren has. And just look at how beautiful that McLaren is. Tell me that isn't a good-looking car.
It isn't a good-looking car.
Okay, thank you for telling me. You're wrong, but thank you for telling me.
No, it's such a beautiful car. It really is. And to be honest, out of all of them...
Ogden? On the inside of Barnett. Sorry to cut you off there, but...
Oh, good.
There was a full send that went on there. It was quite nice. It looked like Barnett just slowed down. Now we are on the final lap, as you just heard the in-game announcer say. Has Barnett got problems? Barnett might be running out of fuel, you know?
He's definitely not...
Hop into cockpit cam and have a look at these PC2 engine map 1. No, he's still running full power. So he's not run out of...
I don't know if it matters, but it says fuel total's 20. I don't know if that ever changes, but...
I don't think that shows on our end. I don't think we can see fuel and all that kind of stuff, but you can see like the settings that they've got the car in, so like TC mode, fuel mode, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Which the main giveaway if somebody's struggling for fuel is that they have the engine mode in another mode other than 1, because that is where it uses obviously less fuel and allows you to sort of sippy as you go around the lap. But here comes Thompson once more. This time takes the inside into Stowe. He does still have the big chungus holding him off, and he's going to just get alongside. He's going to carry the momentum. Fantastic move from Thompson to get through on Levchenko. Levchenko, who's proven he knows how to defend, just couldn't quite defend hard enough. It's like his meter's run out. I think the race has worn him down. He's going to be sweating like mad anyway. Now as we come through, you got Darren King. Only has a few corners to go before he takes the second victory. I said he was going to get P2. In fact, I think I nailed the whole top 3, didn't I? What did I say? I said Darren King P1, Vesemir P2.
Nope.
Oh, okay, I said Gareth P2, sorry.
You did say Gareth, yeah. But this is what's happening here?
What?
Someone get out. I think
You
someone's
okay?
just went off. I think someone car 17. I'm trying. Oh no, never mind. It's parties. It was a blue flag situation type of deal. I just couldn't see it. So I thought Levchenko was getting overtaken again, but it was unfortunately his teammate.
Yep. And Darren King has taken the win again here in race 2 for the first ever race in the Octane Online Racing European Sprint Series. Vesemir will cross the line in P2, a very well deserved fight for him. Ogden will take P3 before penalty applied, which will be Ban at P4. Thompson will cross the line P5 ahead of the big chungus himself, that is Levchenko. And you got Bauer P7, Stokes P8, Softic P9. Gareth will get that P10 position, as long as he doesn't have some sort of self-destruct happen partway through these final few corners.
Yeah, so King and Gareth both finishing in the exact same positions that they finished the previous race in.
And then Softic P9, Walker P10, Wagner P11, and then Konononov in P12.
Yeah, this has been incredible racing. This has been so enjoyable.
And we have another split to go. We have another split. Yep. This is going to be fantastic. I may have to go and lubricate my my voice box though, because it is pretty sore, as you can imagine. Those races have been incredible. I've actually got. I already know some of the drivers from the next split. I mean, I obviously got to see. I did the announcement for the rosters, so I've got some of their names already locked in my memory. There's at least 1 or 2 individuals who I cannot wait to see what they've got for us in store. It's gonna be fantastic. Right, let me transition the scenes back to hello, those beautiful people. Now I'm going to navigate quite nicely.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Over to Split Red. So, Badger, first 2 races have been done. First initial impressions.
I am honestly so impressed with the pace and the speed of these guys, but also the general adaptability. You know, we saw, for example, King trying to make that move stick on Levchenko, and it just wasn't happening. He made try after try after try, and then he was trying in different parts of the track. He was adapting to what was going on. He then was getting attacked from behind, and he adjusted. He lost the position and then regained his position, came back at it, and then he made just a beautiful dummy to finally crack the big chungus and get past Levchenko.
It was fantastic, and honestly, I'm stoked for what we're going to see in this next race. It's genuinely going to be incredible, and it's we'd like to see. I am confused by the broadcast app because it's still showing all of the names of the previous drivers. Well, look, help! How do I just close and reopen it? Is that how I fix that?
I would say probably yes.
GG, Gareth. Good first race, mate. I think obviously a couple of things that need ironing out, but 2 P10s. Really good result there, Gareth, mate.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with that. Alright, I am going to close the broadcast controller and then reopen it. There we go. Yep. I'll just do that from now on then. Makes sense. Why not? Okay. I do have to disconnect and connect again for the live timings. Is that one done? And then one other thing I need to do is the other one. There we go. I think all has been done. Life is good. Life is good. Guys, if you've enjoyed the first race, make sure you click that like and subscribe button, because let's be honest, that was fantastic, wasn't it? And we're not even done yet. We've got another split to go through. So if you haven't already hit that like, please do. We're at 32 right now. If we could get to 50, there's 56 people watching right now. If we can get to 50, I'll be absolutely buzzing. So please hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. And also click subscribe. Why not? It's free of charge. It literally costs you nothing. And it makes a heap of difference to these guys. So please do get cracking with our next race. Now, I challenge you to pronounce car number 60. Oh, sorry. Car number 39's car. P16, car 39. Can you pronounce their name? Good luck.
Shelkins.
Nope. I'll give you a clue. It's Dutch.
Shelkins.
it's just
I'll allow you to educate me.
I've been practicing this. Yeah, he's probably still going to laugh at me and go, nope, not even close. But Shelkins. I completely balls that up. I can't do it, man.
Shelkins.
How do you say S phlegm?
Right, in fact, I want you to, so I take it you understand what the Scottish word for lake is. I nearly fucking said the word. That would have been awful.
A loch.
Oh, that was pretty good. I will give you that. Yeah.
Loch Ness.
You use that same throaty thing.
Oh, I know that. I can't go from S to phlegm that quickly. It's just impossible. Just Shelkins. That's as close as I can get it. That was the best run I've ever done, honestly. I've been practicing his name. I'm not even lying to you. I've been practicing his name. But I think this split is probably going to be the hardest split when it comes to names. Because you've got, I mean, Rosendal. I think it's Rosendal, I think is how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. You have Shelkins. You have Viniecki. And then you have car number 117. I challenge you to pronounce that one.
Let me find 117. Januszewski? I take it as Polish.
I can tell you, it is, yes, Polish.
Yeah. Januszewski, I'm going to throw it. That's what I'll go for.
I think it's Januszewski. I think is how you pronounce it. Januszewski. Yeah.
So I just want to point out how really close to these I was. And you're just like, no, it's not that. It's this.
You were fair. There is one person in here that is very close to my heart. My boy, Christopher Holzer. Or Christoph Holzer. My apologies, not Christopher. It's just so easy to say Christopher because it's a very common name in the UK. Christoph Holzer, our boy McFriedlich. Very nice guy. Love of my life. A fair play to him. Love him. Couple of people in here in particular that I really want to shout out that are really fast that I've raced with. There are a lot of people in here that I'm not yet familiar with, but I can't wait to see who's got the big cojones. Martin, J. Martin. His name's Jamie Martin. Very fast driver. Absolutely slapped me in a couple of races. Same for Matthew Della. Same for Antonio Ceredi. Very quick drivers. Yusi Kaki, another driver who's very, very quick. All these guys are coming from the Rookie Series, moving into the Sprint Series, going to be showing us what they're capable of, and I can't wait for it. So, eventful is a good way of putting it. How is it going, Fairball? Are you enjoying the stewarding? Ryan Garrity, like it and Ryan will give you a smooch. Absolutely. Hello, Moritz. Good race, dude. Or races, should I say? Fair play. Selkins told me to tease you about it. Yeah, it's hard to pronounce his name. I tried, man. I tried. And yes, don't forget to turn on notifications as well. Thank you, Gareth. Appreciate it.
Gareth is on the ball, as always.
Yeah. The qualifying's done. You can see who has put themselves on pole. Vining is pole position. With Spence Rob in P2. How is it? There's a Nissan. A Nissan on pole. And a Nissan. A dive bomb Datsun.
No, give it its proper name.
The dive bomb Datsun. The big Chungus, yeah. The big Chungus. On pole. I mean, if that's not fair play, that's amazing, right? Who's the safety car for this one? Because Jussi Kaki is in his own car. So the question is, who... Go random numbered car, you could do it. Who is in the safety car?
Well, we wait on finding that out. I'm just having a look through, and we also, I don't know if you mentioned him, but another person you raced with in the Rookie Series, Dello, as he's here, he's racing, and he's up in P6.
Yep.
Well, P5 if you get rid of the safety car.
Particular racing in particular that we had a really good mental fight with was at Monza. Me and him had it's my first ever league race win, and me and him had a battle and a half going through it. He did absolutely destroy me, and by that I mean in pace, at Spa. I couldn't get away from him. I couldn't get away from him. He was just so quick. So yes, we are going to crack on. You know what? I'm gonna speed run a beer. You take over. I'm gonna watch this. I'll be back before the lights go green.
That's right. Okay. Well, Raggy attempts to speed run a beer. Yeah, I just want to get in the chat. If anyone can tell us who they believe their top 3 is going to be by the end of this sprint race. You know, we've got some pretty fast guys there, as Raggy pointed out. P1 in a Nissan, pretty impressive. But you know, Dello, we've seen him in the Rookie Series. He's got very, very quick pace. Serede as well. He's usually up there. He's fighting. He's a quick driver. Who do you think will be P1, 2, and 3? I'll tell you right now. I think Raggy's not going to get back before the lights go green. So well, I'm going to say he finishes first. I was going to give you, like, you know, the blue flags, get you chucked out. You know, replace them.
I told you. When it comes to beers, I'm rapid. Cheers, chat. Hope you're all enjoying the races as much as I am. This is fantastic. I cannot wait to do this every Thursday. This is going to be so good. I'm hyped.
Yeah, this has been incredible so far.
I just went for a drink. I got it now. I'm Gucci.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you should have peed.
Listen, I don't need to pee. Any liquid that's in my body is coming out in the form of sweat.
Charming.
If you was in this room...
sweats urine, everybody.
My door is shut, my window is shut, and my fan is on, but it's just circulating the same warm air that's going on. But anyway, enough about my temperature, because we're about to raise the temperature. 15-degree temperatures on the circuit right now. P1 is Vining, P2 Spence Rob, and J Martin right there. The two Bentleys chasing. Imagine the biggest cars in the world hunting you down if a P1, P2. Let's see what we've got then as we go through, coming up towards turn 1. The race will get started. What am I drinking tonight? A nice cold Budweiser. Oh,
sponsorship.
It's like urine, but it's so good.
Never mind that sponsorship then.
Going in towards turn 1. We are away. Vining is actually not quite got as good a start as Spence Rob, but it's an outside line through turn 1. He's going to stick it. Fair play to him. Gets himself up for race lead. And now the big Chungus is going to have to retaliate, but also needs to look in his mirrors because Spence Rob, J Martin is looking for a maneuver on him as well. If he can get through, can't quite do so. Not going to get any gap just yet. I want to check towards the back of the field. How are we looking? Any deaths yet to record? Everything looks okay. No one is murdered so far. You can see that J Martin actually has a pretty good run going on for Vining here. Is he going to be able to hold it through? This is the hard part. Going around the outside through here is very difficult. He's going to stick it anyway, though. Fair play. The maneuver looked good, but the inside line for the Nissan just seems to be more favourable. And I'm going to jinx... Oh, no. I was about to jinx it. But we have had an issue further down the back. That is Kujan, who's dropped off, but somebody else is behind him. That is
Lazel's been running up the grass all the way up there, so he looks like he's actually retiring straight to the pits straight away.
We've got a replay on screen. We're going to see exactly what happened. He's right behind the McLaren. As we can see, very much in the toe of it. Oh, it's all on him. No. He ran into the back of the McLaren and then tried to flick out of the way and lost the car.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But again, these things happen in racing, and that's really cost him.
But we'll see now as we go back to live. And J Martin is still trying to get Vine in here. He couldn't be any more open to ascend if he tried. The inside line was there. Did decide not to go for it. This is the sprint race, remember? So this is where you want to try these sends so close to the back of that big chungus there. And let's have a quick look at what it looks like from the cockpit. Just look at that beast in front of it. I mean, the Bentley is a big boat, right? It is huge. But just against that, look at the size of it.
Yeah,
mistake made.
Big car. Martin here looks like he's trying to make a move. He's right on the gearbox. Nearly, you can see he's thinking about it. He's just hoping for a mistake, finding in front, but he's not coming, and he's just holding back, waiting for that moment to arise. 2/10 off the back, and that looks like nothing. He's going to go for it now. He's right there.
Yeah, he's got him here. The run was so much better. He's glued to the back of him here, but the inside has been covered off quite nicely.
Yep, it's the big chungus move, but it's not as effective as Levchenko was in the last race, and that allows Martin to just squeeze on past.
My app seems to have stopped working. It's a little bit concerning.
That is a little bit concerning. I will, while you fix that, I'll keep you abreast of the situation.
It is updating. It's about to go mental. You have to bear with.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna reload it. Carry on as you were.
Panic. But yeah, it's looking like Saturday as well. He's looking like he's right on the back of. Oh, that's a big dive bomb from Saturday. Oh, that was nearly into the back there of. I think it was Kaki nearly hit, and that. Oh, that could have been race ending for the two of those drivers there. But you know what? Saturday's made the position on Lagalenta. I don't even know. That one's wrong. That one's wrong. Lagalante. Let's go with that. But yeah, Saturday's now made the move, and he's up now in P5, I think.
Mulek, the app stopped working. I don't know what I've done to it. It's just not responding.
I believe there is a connect and disconnect button you could try.
Yeah, neither of which are working.
Panic. Panic blindly.
Panic. Just shake hands. Alright, well, I'm going to have to try and figure this one out without the use of... Can I press number keys? Nope.
No,
that gives
you
me...
cannot.
Okay, can I click on names?
Nope.
How do I change driver?
I have been doing it from the pit lane. I don't think you can do it from that view. So you might need to find a way to restart that app.
I've restarted it and it didn't work. Alright, as you were, carry on without me.
No problems. So, we're just having a look here, and Kaki is looking like he's getting on the back of Vining, which, you know, we've already seen Vining's got, the big chungus is not being as effective in this race as it was in the previous race, so will Kaki be able to make a move here and potentially take that podium position? It's looking good. Saturday as well, catching up to the back of this pack. He is currently lapping about 4/10 a lap faster than the guys in front of him. So he looks like he absolutely has the pace today, and he could be aiming for a podium.
Left arrows isn't working either.
What's not working?
Gareth suggested left arrows. Is no working now. It's broke.
It's broken.
It's broke. I click connect, nothing happened.
Do you want to make sure you've closed it in Task Manager while I attempt to do some IT work for you? It's not like I've not had enough of that all day.
We're Gucci. We'll work it out.
Cool. Yeah, Mead here is right on the back of Dello, and just falling back out of the traction zone there. But he has the opportunity. He's getting nice and close there, and right now, Dello makes a mistake. He's went off the track there, and that's going to allow him to lose 3 positions. Francis is also going side by side with Kula. Kula manages to make it, sticking at Maggots and Beckett's, but Francis is coming back at him. He's taking the inside line. This is so close. Did I just say Maggots and Beckett's? I don't know why that was in my head. See, I'm trying to look at IT things for you as well, and it's just confusing me on corner names.
Carry on. I'm figuring out.
And we've got here Francis now finally making the move here, stick on Cooler, but Cooler's coming back at him once again, my lord. These two are going side by side through all these, and it looks like Bartoli is wanting to come in and get involved in this. Francis a little bit wide, nearly getting the rear tapped. How are we doing, sir?
Not working. I'm trying to find the buttons, the shortcuts to skipping with.
I don't think there is any. Let me double check.
You carry on. I will figure it out.
Right, okay, I'm attempting some Googling, but yes. Saturday now it's actually managed to get past Kaki and he's right on the back of Vining.
Oh.
This is looking good for the potential P2 coming his way, but Martin has a little bit of a gap to them. Will he be able to make that gap up? But yes, Serdy's already on the back. He was trying to go left. He's now swerving right, making the dummy stick through Maggots and Beckett's. He's now dropped off a little bit out the back here, but can he get back onto the end of this car just as he's coming up to the hangar straight? He's getting nice and close. He looks like he's going to try and make the move for the inside. He's getting closer and closer, but that he just doesn't seem to be gaining much from the slipstream, as the big Chungus seems to be taking some good straight line speed, and Kake was attempting to make the move in the Bentley behind him, but now three of them coming here into the chicane. It's going to be a nice late break there from Seredy. He's managed to gain some positions as Vinen hit the curb a little bit, it unsettled the car. It's allowing him to be under attack from Seredy behind.
I'm back. I figured it out. Yeah. Thank you, Scope. Appreciate it. It's obvious, and I should know that because it's just exact same keys as it is when I'm driving. So yeah, I am fully back. You are gonna have to bear with because it's gonna have to be me shifting through the drivers. So it's not gonna look particularly good. However, Spence Rob is currently fighting his way back through the field. Managed to get through the Aston there of Mead. A nice little maneuver done for him, but does still have to go a fair few more cars before has a chance to get himself onto a podium once more. Again, start of the race looked really good. Qualifying was fantastic, but everything else was not particularly good from the remaining start of the race. We are about halfway through. We do have 10.5 minutes to go before this one is done and dusted. But yeah, look at this three-way fight going on here. This is Seredy, Kaki, and Vining all scrapping for a P2 because P1 has gone. He's packed his bags. He's pieced out. He's decided he's already moving into race 2 before we even get qualifying 2 done.
Yeah, he's managed to bring up a nice large gap, and with only 10 minutes remaining, it'd be hard to see that gap falters. Even Seredy looks like he's got some incredible pace, but he just cannot get past Vining. He's like, as you can see, right on the back as we go down and check out car 923 is
Seredy!
off as well.
Seredy's made a big mistake. He flicked it through Maggots and Beckett's and he lost the rear, and that's just sent him off the circuit. He come back on again, but he's now behind Spence Rob. Spence Rob is actually going to be feeling a lot of pressure from Seredy because they are teammates, yeah, but, you know, Seredy, I've raced with him. I know how ruthless he can be. He will not stop until he's got that position, and that's what you're going to see going in towards Stowe. Round the outside is going to be very difficult through here. We've seen that the inside is more favourable, and I tell you something, you're sticking it. Bit of contact between the two of them. They're continuing. Going into left. I think Spence Rob is going to be the one who benefits more here. They're so close to each other. Bit of contact. Antonio Seredy's been sent out wide. He's going to lose 2 places now. There's also Mead getting through and making his name on the Porsches. Now Banks up in the centre of the two of them. He's actually going to look at Seredy going again down the inside one more time. Look at the Lambo coming around the outside, down the inside again once more. Fantastic send here from Cooler, but has to back out. Seredy might go a bit deep. Oh, he's gone over the curb and sent it to the side of the Aston. That is sadness.
Yep, Mead is now dropping down positions. That is such a heartbreaking affair for him. But he manages to get back on the track. His race isn't completely over yet. He can still do... Oh, but he's...
Oh.
Yeah, I think he might have damage because he was just letting these cars by now. He's not even attempting to...
Spence! I mean, he was furious that the Audi chopped his nose off, but he's just absolutely sent it around the outside in Brooklands, and that is him ahead of the Audi of Lagalante? Lagalante. I'm going with that. That's the
Yep.
name.
That's the exact phrase that I said for it.
Yeah, going with that. Definitely going with that.
Yep, but as we now have a look through the rest of the field, yeah, everyone's kind of close, but no one's close enough to make a dive, it looks like.
We've got a nice little train going on here. But yeah, like you say, they are close enough to get the toe from each other, but not close enough to be able to do absolutely anything about it. Vittori is probably the next closest driver, is to Francis, although not yet able to do anything there. Christoph Holzer, my homie, my boy, down there in P10, holding on to those points, getting some juicy ones. You got Mead, who's had a rough race, like we said, having a contact and getting absolutely annihilated by Serity. Not intentionally, of course, just hit that curb, took off, and went into the side of an Aston. And now the Aston is trying to get down the inside of a Mercedes. Although that one didn't quite work out. That is, it's the guy, the guy with a difficult name.
Do you want to give it a go? Do you want?
Oh.
Or you just go Mercedes from now on?
Schelikens. There you go. Nailed it.
Schelikens.
It's not Schelikens. I said that the first time and you shouted at me.
Alright, okay. I will find out afterwards.
I'm telling you.
Right, moving on. Let's have a look through. Kaki looks like he's getting nice and close to the back of Vinen. He's already in P3. Can he potentially move himself up a podium position? He's so close to the rear of that car into the braking zone.
Yeah, it's honestly, if we can see the level of scrapping that we saw in the first two races, this and the next race are just going to be fantastic. This is really going to be fire, to say the least. But I am watching. I'm watching Mead still, trying to attack Schelikens. Not going to be able to... Oh, there you go. There's the penalty. Serity has been given a 15-second penalty for the contact. And I've just realised it's not just the broadcast controller that's a problem. All three applications have stopped working. So PitLink and also the notification thingy. But I actually think it's my game that's the problem. So I'm going to rejoin after this race is over and see if I can get them all up and running.
No worries, it's probably something already responding on that port or something on your router. But yes, it might be the game that's just not sending signals out again. Could be. But I just want to take a moment. If we look at P4 down to P9, that's a nice tasty battle that they're all within that 1 second each other. Obviously Serity with his 15-second penalty for causing that collision. But that is a tasty battle. You know, there's lots of points up for grab there, lots of positions, very little time between all of them.
He has managed to get through on Schelikens. He's actually took the inside line through Stowe, and that really benefited him, and that's him now up to P11. So good stuff from him. Yeah, let's go to that battle that's happening further afield. Let's stay on board with Francis. I think he's probably the next person to attack, and he's looking to try and close in on Serity. Although, having said that, Serity is actually closer to Cooler. Oh no, not again, no, Serity! No, and he stopped on track in such a dangerous location. He wants to let him go. He feels bad for the big send. But still, heartache and sadness for Cooler. Yep,
and yeah, that's two moves where it's just been overcooked. Yeah, I think he's going to need to, between now and the next race, he's going to really need to settle himself down, try and eke it back just a little bit. I think he's just getting a little bit hot under the collar and really wanting to make moves stick. He knows he's got pace, he's just not getting the moves done on the guys in front of him, and it's forcing him to try and make these moves that really audacious that he doesn't need to do.
So, J Martin, my boy Jamie, holding it down P1. Vine in P2, 5.5 seconds back. We'll be continuing the scrappage throughout the remainder of this race. You've got Kaki P3, who is trying to attack Big Chungus. It's a boat versus a Godzilla. Beast on machine. I don't know which one's going to be out on top, but I can see that the machine is trying Going through around the outside. They're going to be side by side throughout. No, he's going to have to fall back a touch. See how this one goes down.
That's Saturday getting another penalty.
20 seconds. Is that 20?
It was
30.
15, so it's up to 30.
Okay. Looking at the preview down my slobs. Everything's a bit hard to read.
Wee slobs.
Wee slobs. Ah, is it going again though? The machine itself, the big boat, Jusikaki. Is it Yus? I think it's Yusikaki. I think it's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, just having a look as well. Silicons is having to defend against, I'm going to presume this is called Tile, behind him. He's been managing to make some moves, get nice and close, but not close enough to make it stick. But this could be something that develops over the next kind of few laps. He's just eking a little bit closer and a little bit closer.
Yeah, this has honestly been absolutely fantastic. I am so pleased to see how these guys have been faring off. We've had a few issues, we've had a few tears, we've had a few penalties, we've had some fantastic overtakes. Just watching that. I don't know what it is about the GTR. The GTR is the hardest car to overtake, can we just say? Vining's doing it, we saw Levchenko doing it in the last race. This is exactly what we want to see from these guys. Just giving it absolutely everything and leaving nothing behind. Because you know, if anybody does leave anything behind, they're going to regret it. This is a chance to get some huge points to kickstart your season in the OOR Sprint Series for the first time in Europe. I think we've wet our tongues. We've wet our whistles is the word I'm looking for. I think we've really got this one going well.
Yeah, absolutely. These have been some incredible races so far, and you know, we came into this thinking maybe the team names will be the highlight, but no, the racing has blown us away. We've had fantastic big Chongus moments. We've had some less fantastic waka moments, but it's all been very good racing. You know, it's been mostly very aggressive racing, but that's what we like to see.
Yeah, elbows have been out. I like the elbows. I think when the elbows are out, that's when people are really committed to being top tier. Actually, looking at Francis here, right on the back of Legolanti, having a little bit of a look-see, see if we can send it. And look at the Audi coming down. There's Pittori trying to get down the inside of the Ferrari. Not going to be able to make it through there. We'll have to sit tight and maybe go again in a short while. Keep an eye out for that one. Maybe it will switch up in a short while. Because Pittori looks to have got a really good run. In the toe here of the Ferrari. Looking for the inside. Has to flick out back to the outside. The Ferrari's got that one covered off. Now the Audi is going to run all the way through on the outside. If he can stick this, he will have the position for the next right-hander. And you've heard the in-game announcer. We are on the final lap. This is now where J. Martin just needs to maintain a nice, decent pace. He's already 7.2 seconds clear of Vinan. Kaki has a chance to make that one a bit worse for him. Who is going to end up in P5? Is Legolanti going to hold on? Is Francis going to take him? Or is Pittori going to pull out an absolute monster of a lap? Although it's not looking good through turn 1.
No, it's not looking good through turn 1, but you know what? If he can manage to somehow pull it off and get that P5, that would be ridiculous. There's two positions, but it looks like Francis went a little bit wide there, and that opened the door, but he did manage to get a good cutback from it, and that's allowed him to get the move coming up against Legolanti.
This has been fantastic, and we've got another race after this to go. We do have the qualifying. That is for those outside the top 12. We'll see who will start from P13 onwards. Currently, 12 is being held by Skelikans, who's going to be having reverse pole coming into this next race. So
he is
really
no longer getting reverse pole.
He's no longer getting... No, it's because Christoph Holzer is getting reverse pole.
Yeah, well, no, he's not, because Mr. Trainer has also now overtaken him. It looks like, fortunately, McFriedlich, our good friend, Christoph Holzer, he does not have fuel. He looks like he has underfueled his car.
Oh no.
This is heartbreak. So close.
That's it. He's giving up. I mean, he's not giving up, but he's giving up.
The car cannot do any more. He's out of this race. After having such a good run and such a good position, he's now, unfortunately, going to be dropping
Oh,
way down the order.
Sony! Not again! Go for another huge send on Cooler. Cooler with a PTSD is said, go, just go. Just go through, it's fine. Enjoy it, I don't want it. You just take it. I'll take the penalties and gain on you. And yeah, Serity, with those huge penalties, 30 seconds will drop outside of the top 10, top 12 altogether. We'll find him right down at the back. But crosses the line, P8. Cooler will take P9, but will gain that position anyway. That means, of course, that Meads will cross the line and also take P9. Telecans.
Want to try that one again?
No. Telecans P10. Trainer P11. And then, if only, the things that could have happened had he not run out of fuel. But is that... Titlet? Titlet. Okay. I had to look at the other screen to actually confirm what the name was there. Right.
Are we going for Tillet or is it Tile?
Well, it's double T, so it can't be Tile.
I mean...
Right? It's Tillet. It's got to be Tillet.
I'm going to... I will ask... Well, we shall ask him afterwards, but I believe it's probably Tile. Okay.
Is it working? Oh, damn.
No.
Alright. I'm going to leave the server and rejoin and see if I can get the app to...
I thought do you want to just relaunch your game, just to be on the super safe side?
Well, let me try reloading the server first. If that doesn't work, then, as in leave the server, rejoin the server. If that doesn't work, then, yeah, absolutely.
Yep, we're kicking him out the server, guys. We've had enough, you know, with his
/
nonsense
kick.
of mispronouncing people's names.
I pronounced it perfectly fine, I'll have you know. It's you that didn't.
Who are we talking about here? Tile?
It's not Tile. I'm telling you, it's just not. You'll find
If
out
someone,
the hard way.
if someone in chat can ask him, that would be ideal. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's... I think, is it working? Oh, it's just crashed.
So that would be a no then.
That would be a hard no.
The sessions was just switching, so maybe that was that.
Starting subroutine for... Is he not responding? Okay, no, gonna kill again and reload it. Say what I'm gonna
Don't
do.
worry,
You
we
guys...
noticed you, Wagner. We noticed you. What have I missed?
Can you see how warm I am? Oh.
I cannot. Unfortunately, I do not have the raggy cam up.
I have loaded up my nice warm face. The thing is, like I say, I've got the window closed and the door shut as well because, you know, door shut because my children are going to sleep. Luckily, this foam makes a huge difference to the volume in this room. Apparently, this is what I've heard from the family. Apparently, when the door is shut and the window is shut, and obviously now with the foam, they can't hear me. Which
Lucky
I'm not
them.
complaining. I know, right? Thanks for the insult.
But yeah, let's have a look here. What? So some of the guys are out here now attempting to do their qualifying laps. So far we have 5 cars out on track, and right now the top 12 from the last race are going to get flipped and reversed, and everyone who was below 12th gets a chance to qualify for their start position.
Green light, go, go, go.
Alright, let me try this again. Ah, success.
That's what I like to hear. A happy Raggy makes for a happy stream.
And a stream where we can see things.
That I mean,
and I can click names, and it all works.
Yeah, Ben, he's just a poser.
I think I broke it again. Did I break it again?
Oh, please no. Please no, senpai.
Let me check. It might just be that. I think my local host.
Your local host thing? Are you talking about?
Oh, I know why it's not working. It's okay. It's alright.
Have you got Hamachi up and running?
No. The I didn't run the script. Which sounds like a me problem. I assure you it's not a me fault. I promise you. It crashed. It was running. It crashed.
Sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what else I should have done? Should have also saved the link. That's my way through it.
That would be a nice thing to do.
Thing is, once we get into the rhythm of this, we won't have this issue ever again.
I don't know. I don't know if I trust you that much.
What do you mean? There we go. Up and running. We're Gucci. We're back in this.
Happy days.
Again, guys, if you haven't already clicked the like button and the subscribe button, please do. It doesn't cost you a thing at all. And we're at 43 likes. We are 7 away from getting to the 50 mark, which for the first stream would be fantastic. So yeah, please do. Clicky, clicky. I'd appreciate you guys even more if you did.
Always do the clicky clicky. Or else we'll just make you, endure the waka.
I'll just stop saying the waka if you do the clicking. We reach 50 likes for this stream. I'll make him stop saying it. Ben was commentating too. She's not very well, mate. Taking a seat out. Oh, now I can click here. It's gonna work. Oh, look at it. Amazing. Perfect. We are back in business, boys and girls. We're not prejudice and robots. Thank you, Shark Times, for the like. Are we at 50? Let's go. That's what we like to see. Thank you, everybody who clicked the like. I appreciate it all very much.
My safety car has been removed from the game.
Yeah. I still don't know who's driving the safety car. Disappointment has ensued.
Yeah, that is very upsetting. However...
Oh, here's the other thing. We've reached 800 subscribers. Pog, let's go. Congratulations.
There we go.
Thank you guys for all of the support. I think we can... I literally said earlier today, as like a semi-joke, I said to when we were doing the Asia Pacific, I said, don't worry, I'll get us 800 subs tonight. Thinking there's no way we were going to do it. And thanks to all the support from you guys, we've nailed it. We've got to 800 subscribers. We've had 50 likes on this. There were actually 51 last time I checked. So thank you guys for all the love and support. And the best bit is, you've got 5 more minutes of qualifying too, and a nice 40-minute race where I have full functionality again. Oh, I've jinxed it because it's going to break.
Yep, you have. Just to double check, did the race control come back up as well?
Yep, everything's up and running again.
Perfect. Right, now we can go and enjoy these laps.
Yes. Now, Dello is somebody who I'm predicting to be in P1 for this Q2 because he is very quick in general. Was actually one of the quickest drivers in the... You might have to do a cache refresh on the... okay, well, I'll do that now then. There you go, it's done. Oh. Fixed. Apologies for the flash of red there. I think I also need to turn the bitrate down for the stream. It's running at 11,000 kilobits per second, which is probably a little bit extreme.
Perhaps.
I mean, you're getting top-notch level bitrate here, but I think that might be just a tad high.
We could do some testing, potentially. But having a look at the drivers that are doing their laps right now, Lazelle he's kind of chopping and changing between having potentially being up on his lap and then being down on his lap. So, yeah, right now he's dropping. It looks like he's kind of gave up on his last sector. He's went from almost gaining to over a second down now. So that's him gave up the ghost. But Rosendal looks like he is up nearly a tenth. He could be on for a good one.
Yeah. Also, want to just catch up on a couple of things in the chat. Keith Briscoe, apologies for missing your message earlier. It says, hey, EU commentator booth, great job and welcome to AOR. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Honestly, if this is the welcome we get, this level of racing, I love it here. I want it more, please. And thank you, Scope, for the compliment as well, saying that we're doing an awesome job. It's all Badger. I'm just shouting. Great Races in Blue, shame of the contact. It's racing. Yeah. Better than that mullet guy is usually here. Yeah, Did you know that he likes pineapple pizza?
Oh, I'm sure we've had this conversation before, and I was so disgusted I deleted it from my mind because I was like, I want to like the guy.
Is it that humid in the UK too? It was earlier. It's not so much now. It's because my door and window is shut and my computer's kicking out heat because I'm streaming. I'm running like 6 applications, and my PC is already not the best, so it really struggles. I have 5% career stat. Listen, I don't do single player, okay? I just don't do it. I think I'm like 500 hours into the game, maybe almost 600. So, yeah. Let me just catch up on the remainder of the chat. I'll be really quick through it. Also, the career mode in ACC is garbage. I've only done, like, literally 2 minutes of it, so I don't know. I've done the first race in the Lambo ST. I think race controller's crashed too. I have reset it, so if that... the script had failed running scope, which is what I was on about when I said I couldn't get this one to work, but I have now got it working. So fingers crossed it should be working. Fem's commentating too. Yep, I've already answered that one. Have my click. Thank you, Benko. Kyo? Kyo? Kof? Kyo? How do you pronounce that? If you could please confirm how I pronounce your name, I'll make sure I pronounce it right every time going forward. Found my way back. Cool. Let's do a cache refresh. Read that already in Lakers colours. Yes, we know what Lakers are. Lakers is that basketball team. I was thinking about insulting them, right? As in saying something daft like the American football team. No, I was going to say something like, oh, it's that American football team, right?
You can hold the insult for 1 second because it looks like Delo's about to set a pole lap.
Go on then. Do it. Give me a Delo.
Across the line.
There we go.
There we go. Delo, 2.5 tenths clear. That was a great lap.
Yeah. Split red is super clean. Agreed. Although there was a couple of the accidental assassination earlier was race 2 starting soon. That was scope testing. Confirm works. What did you guys spectate? Race 1. I was busy racing. What did we spectate? As much of it as we possibly could. There was a hell of a lot that happened. The guy with the difficult name, thanks. I tried. I'm sorry. I tried, man. Your name is so hard to pronounce. Schelikens is really hard to pronounce. I think I did okay there.
Do you want to keep trying?
I did it. I nailed it, right? Oh, Antonio, what a lap time. 7/10 clear. 57.9. That's huge. And he can go again. He can actually just continue.
That is madness.
Trying to make up for what went wrong in the last one.
Yep. Antonio, take a bow. That was incredible. Although he's definitely not pushing this lap. He's already 6/10 down. He's like, nope, I'm done. But Lizelle, he's currently nearly half a second up as well. So he's doing good to kind of push himself up there a little bit. Not quite good enough to get up for that pole position yet, though.
Yeah. Rosendahl as well, who P5 does have a chance to improve. Currently, he's 4/10 up from what I can tell. Is that correct?
Yep, 4/10 up Rosendahl and about half second up for Lizelle.
Oh, he's just getting loads of time with Rosendahl. That's 8/10 he's just stood in the game. He's just dropped a little bit down to 7, but if he gets a good exit here, this could be big. Let's see now as he's going through. It's hovering at 7/10 still. So this could be a big jump here, going up to P3, P2 even. Big lap time from Rosendahl. Clearly something went wrong previously, but can Lizelle improve as well? He is 6/10 up. So where will he come up? Goes P2!
Oh,
3,000!
3,000! That was incredible. The gauntlet has been thrown down.
Yep.
Seredy with a fantastic lap time there, showing exactly what he can do. But Lizelle and Rosendahl right behind. 3,000th between them, man. That was so close.
That's perfect. That's exactly what you want in this racing, right? Surely you want to see them so close. And yeah, obviously the first race was incredible. I think in terms of wow factor, yeah, I'm gonna be that guy and say it, but I think Split Blue had a little bit extra in if you compare race 1 and race 1, I think Split Blue had the wow factor. Although race 2 was really good in Split Blue. So team Split Red has got a lot to live up to. But based on what we saw in the first race, I think this is going to be a really, really fun race. So we know that Jay Martin will be in P12 for the start of this race, and based on the gap that he had at the end of that race, was actually looking incredibly quick. So, being able to be fast is one thing, being able to be fast and overtake people is another. So bear that in mind as we start this race. It is 40 minutes long, remember, and the track temp is 28. So what I said before, when the track temp climbs, you have to adjust, and not just adjust your mentality and your driving style, you also have to adjust your temperatures of your tires.
Yep, you've got to take into consideration that this is a simulation, and so all the little changes to the temperature, the track temperature, your tires temperature, the carcass temperature, like these can all play effect into how much grip you're going to have and how easy it is to attack these corners, how long your braking zones are going to be, how likely you are to lock up. Everything kind of just plays into each other. So you really need to try and keep your level of commitment high while also not trying to break the limit of your adhesion.
Right. Here we go. Straight line squad. What is that? Literally first car. Who is this? 290? Who are you? Where are you? What's your name? Am I blind? Till it. Till it! How do you screw this up that bad? What the How? What is this line? I mean, fair play 72 for trying, right? Max Trainer. Is this Silicons? It is.
You just try again.
Oh, no, that's it now. He's getting that. He's getting Silicons. He's never going to get this He's getting just Silicons because this is a feeble attempt. What is this? What is this? And then you got this. They're in each other.
To be fair, Helicons was right behind, nice and straight lined up. It was whoever's behind. Mead was the problem.
I'm honestly bitterly disappointed.
Also, Ben, can I just point out, Ben in chat, you are wrong. The safety car is beautiful.
And it's also not called safety car. What's it called?
I thought my rights were removed.
I mean, we already reached the goal. They're not going to be that upset, right? Surely. We can't. We can't not call it what it's actually called.
We've got to have the Waka.
And look at it, stunning, absolutely
Beautiful.
fantastic.
A ting of beauty.
Ting a beauty. Ting a beauty for your looty. Anyway, Tillet is going to be starting us off here. It's going to be Max Trainer chasing down in P2. And Schelikens, I'll give him his proper name back. I mean, it's his proper name. Can't really take it away from him, but you get the point. I need a 1, 2, 3 from you. All safety cars are beautiful. This isn't a movement.
You know what? I think. Who am I going to go for? Let's go for Schelikens up
It's
to
nice name.
P1, and then we will go for Tile in P2. I'm just picking names. Fuck you now.
You're bullying people, man. This is bullying. This is actually bullying.
You know what? I think we might just be able to see Mead up on their P3.
Yeah. I mean, I actually just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know. There's a lot of drivers that are really closely paced in this. Like in the last split, it was Darren for the most part was the name to call. There were a lot of people who were very close to his pace, but once he got released, he was gone. And there's a couple of people in here that are so close together. Like Martin looks to me like a really clear runaway, but at the same time, he didn't make it through the grid that easily. And now, oh my word! I thought my heart stopped for a second. I thought Max Trainer was going to drive right through to that, as in pit maneuver him and send him off the track. I'm actually going to try something here. Ready? I'm going to try.
I'm ready.
Try. See if I can get a nice. This might work. It also might not. We're going to try it. We're going to try and get a nice drone cam from the front. We can look all the way to the back and see how this one's going to go down. As we come through the final corner, remember the start of this race will be delayed due to the way that we set up the grid for race 2. Keep a firm look here how this one will go. We are all lined up quite nicely. It's looking pretty tidy towards the back. Race 2 then, 40 minutes long, a 27-degree temperature for the track. How will this one go? Wait for the green light.
Green light.
And we're off. beautiful start there from Max Trainer, and actually a good start as well. There's already a mistake made, and that's Salakins, who's actually lost that big style there, coming back on the track and just about gets out of the way. Has stopped completely on the circuit, but look at the two Lambos. I think that was Cooler. He's had a fantastic start, and he's going for race lead. How is he there? What a start from him. Incredible run to get all the way from, what was that, P6, and just
P5,
shoots up the field. Oh yeah, it's P5, whatever. It's like close enough, man, still.
But yeah, that's a great start, and he's already managed to pull out an enormous gap to his teammate. That's been some incredible start from him.
Honestly, fantastic to see. How he got through there, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. So, Carl Tillett in P2 now. Mead is James Mead in P3. Did have a bit of touch there between him and the Mercedes of Telekins, who's now at the very back of the grid and is still scrapping away as much as he possibly can. He's looking for a maneuver on Tillett. I don't know how he's going to get through here. This is surely a little bit too hard to do.
Steady and Vining have had a little bit of a touch coming together, just the start there, so I'll need to potentially bring up a replay of that if I can. Don't know if anything's going to be happening with that, but will be no, but there's big carnage now down at the back of the field.
Let's have a quick look what happened. I was slightly distracted for a second.
Looks like Mead was involved, and yeah.
Okay, well then. So, Mead is hunting down for the Lambo. Oh, he's just ran a little bit quick, lost the back end a touch, but he's caught it again. And then going for the inside. Oh no, he just runs into the back of the Lambo. And then the Ferrari having to take evasive action. And yeah, fastest lap has been set by Cooler, which doesn't surprise me, considering the outright outrageous pace that he's been checking down. But yeah, so much carnage at the back. I don't think we're seeing a safety car. Everybody is continuing. There were a fair few cars involved, but we're good so far. First carnage of the race so far. I think as carnage goes, it was alright.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm just bringing up the replay there from the collision between Serity and Vining, and yeah, it was just a little bit of a swipe, knocked one of them over the curb.
Yeah, is that Winiecki? It is Winiecki. Having some sort of issue. So a quick peek as to what that is. It's already happened. I can't see it, unfortunately. Too far back.
I will see if I can bring it up. Yeah, look at the
923.
gap. Look at the gap currently between P1 and P2. That is 3.5 seconds already. Yeah. That is insane.
Yeah, really, really demonstrating. I mean, where was this pace in race 1? That's my question. Where was this pace in race 1? I really thought that it would have been a much better run for Cooler, but yeah, unfortunately. Race 1 didn't quite go so well. But race 2 is fine. You know, he's got it. Fine. A lot of time to go, but the race is still on. We got to continue for another 36 minutes. Lots of work to do for Cooler. Lagalante, obviously, is, you know, 3 and a bit seconds back. Did actually gain a little bit of time on that lap there. I think it was a mistake made from Lagalante, but other than that, we're still racing. James Martin, person who won race 1 here in Split Red, is up to P4 and demonstrating that he's got skills. He's got the bills that he could pay. And Lagalante, who has now just beaten Cooler's fastest lap in 59.1.
Yep, finally catching up. I'm just trying to see exactly what happened here between 923, but it looks like I don't have access to the replay for the exact section that this potentially comes off. Something weird's happening with my replay, so...
Regulated your Nemesis Barnett finish in Split Blue. Good question. I think you got a podium in the second race, actually. Oh, big send here.
I think he did get a podium.
I think Kaki's having a look-see. Yes, he is. He's looking for J Martin. as much as he possibly can. And at the same time, you've got an Audi. There's contact between them. This is going to be disastrous if this goes wrong. Audi's trying to stick around the outside. You've got Porsche getting involved in the situation too. There are 4 cars all scrapping very close together, swapping places non-stop. Here comes the Porsche down the inside of the Audi. That's Vittori getting attacked by Spence Robb here. Let's have a quick look as to how this one's going down. They are side by side still coming into the all left one corner. Oh, they gotta keep this one so tight. He can't afford for any mistakes here. They have done just about that. They are still 3 in a train. You've got Kaki going for a move around the outside. Not going to stick this one. Maybe a cut back if you can get the run. Again, the run needs to be on this left-hander here. You get the exit just right. You've got all that tow. And especially if you're Kaki in this situation, you're going to have 2 cars worth of tow. And you're going to be able to be a bullet. But just didn't quite get the exit he needed. And that's actually cost him a fair bit. And now you can see Spence Robb on the back of Vittori. Not going to be able to attack just yet, of course. He's going to have to sit tight for at least a while long. Never mind. Scratch that. Went down the inside. Didn't quite get it, though. Cuts that curb and actually loses in the back end just a touch. Has allowed Kaki to close in. Now, not only have we got Kaki involved in this, we've got Vining, who's here too, actually sitting in this train once more. Vittori leading this little 5-car train, I think it is. Dello on the back of it as well, which is great to see. And Seredi. That's a bit more than that. Dello having a much better race than the first one. Lagalante showing pace and actually slowly reeling in Cooler.
Yep, slowly catching up there. Just to confirm, I did have a look, and Winigeki, he basically was avoiding a collision that was in front of him, and made him go well off the track and nearly into the wall. So, yeah, unfortunate for him, just kind of caught up because of the incidents around him. And it looks like we've also got Tillett as well, we're going for, spun out, and I don't know if he's had potential contact. Nothing's popped up on my screen yet, but he's spun out and he's now dropping down the order.
Yep, right down at the back. P16 currently 4 tenths away from Rosendahl. Yeah, not ideal. That's the last thing you want really in that situation. But it is race 2 of the first race, first round, should I say, in the European Sprint Series for OOR. If you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, and you haven't already, then click that like button and click the subscribe, both of which are completely free, and they make a world of difference to us if you could, so please do. Meanwhile, we will continue chatting about the racing that we're seeing, because realistically, I think Lagalante is going to reel in our race leader, you know?
Yeah, Tillett's off again, into the gravel pit nearly. I think those tyres are absolutely blistering. So we might need to take it easy for a few laps to get them back into a temperature range that's comfortable. But yeah, looking at the rest of the field, you know, Spencer Robb is going, oh, that was close there, nearly getting a little love tap on the butt. And yeah, this battle could be raging on for many laps to come.
Well, here's the thing. Look how many cars are right behind it as well. And we've seen so many times where you only need 1 or 2 cars to get in this mix, and it becomes so scrappy. I mean, I love seeing scraps. It's exactly what I want to see, but, you know, when you get this as a driver, if you're in this battle, this train, you are so concerned, and you're actually kind of hesitant at the same time to go for a move, because it can so easily backfire. You go for an attack, if it doesn't quite work out the way you wanted it to, yeah, you're done. You're already going to have a nightmare of problems. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. I actually want to also give a little look-see at Martin here. His pace has been rapid. He's set the previous fastest lap now, which is a 158.6. The pace doesn't seem to be slow. Oh no, Seredi's actually just set that, sorry. He did set the previous lap before this, which was a 58.9. And he's actually really committing to closing in as quick as he possibly can on Lagalante and Cooler. And again, I think Lagalante is going to catch Cooler, and I also think that Martin's going to catch both of them.
Yeah, he could. He's got the pace right now. He seems to have it in the bag. And yeah, as you say, Lagalante's just catching, you know, a little bit, half a tenth or so per lap. So he's getting there.
Is that Vittori? It is.
That is Vittori.
Let's have a quick look what happened. Let's go onto the cockpit cam as you're coming through. Has he just overcooked it? I think yep, this is the nightmare corner. This nearly happened to me far too many times. And he stalls the engine as well. Gets himself going again, but yeah, the biggest of sadness is there.
Yep, and I don't know if Tillett and Winigeki had a coming together. It doesn't look like they had touched, but they both spun out at the same corner. Both of them have been struggling with their car this race. They're not having a good time of it.
I don't know what it is about GTRs, but they're defending like crazy. I mean, Kaki has just lost a place to Vinan. Vinan is through now, and is starting to pull a gap as much as he can, especially whilst you got Seredy, who has shown he's got pace, committed really hard in that qualifying too, putting a beautiful lap time. Now he's actually trying to fight with Kaki and close in as much as he can. At the same time, Dello, very well known for being a very quick driver from the rookies. Not always been the most consistent, but has always been the most dedicated, I can tell you. And now he's watching the cars ahead, praying that something happens. So then he can just go, yeah, all right, fine, I'll have a crack. Look at the gap for the top three. Lagolante has closed down onto Cooler to a 1.6 second gap. Jay Martin hasn't lost any time at all to Lagolante and is still nursing that 1.1 second gap that he's had for a couple of laps now. At the same time, Spence Robb, who was very quick in the qualifying session going into the first race, has brought himself now within a 1.5 second gap of Jay Martin. So this could turn out to be a four-way, if not maybe even more, depending on how long they fight for, a four-way fight for the race win.
Yeah, this has been incredible so far. And just looking back, you know, Dello will be well aware of the incident Seredy had in the last race, and obviously Dello has raced with Seredy quite a lot before, so he knows he's not afraid to send it, and that could be the opening that Dello needs to make up a few positions if Seredy starts fighting with the guys in front. Yeah,
absolutely. Kaki on Vining again. Vining did pass Kaki on the last lap, and now he's having to defend against Kaki. So we'll see what Vining has got in his pocket. And it is Jussi. It is Jussi. It's from Finland.
Jussi.
I don't know. Jussi, I see. We all see that it's Jussi Kaki. Anthony Seredy. Look at Antonio Seredy, sorry. Antonio, here we go. Is going for a move on to... no, it's just Antonio. I was right the first time. Going for a move on Kaki. The problem with the Porsche, right, is it doesn't have a great deal of high speed. When it comes to the acceleration, it's one of the best, if not the best. The next closest to having the best, if not having the best overall acceleration, is the Bentley. So this is a battle really to see who can just get the better exits. And that's what makes it so good between the two of them. But actually, Kaki's lost time here to Vining, so he's going to lose that overall tow. And that's going to cause a real occurrence of nightmares for Kaki here, especially with Seredy around the back of him, just absolutely looking for a window of opportunity. And maybe that window is here. Looking to go around the right-hand side. It's hard to get stuck all the way around, but he's going to try and keep it through. Does end up losing out in the end anyway, and Kaki will hold on to P6.
Yeah, that was a good positioning of the car there from Kaki, but Seredy, yeah, he saw that opening. He probably could have delayed it a little bit and stayed on the bumper. Going round the outside into the chicane is always going to be tricky. That's a very difficult move to make stick.
We haven't seen it, but Lagolante has taken Ray's lead. Kula is now P2. He's still very close. This is going to be a very close fight throughout, I can imagine. But Martin, here as well, is showing he has talent, he has pace, and he's willing to throw it down in front of both of these guys. And look at this. Look for Martin here for the inside. He's got it. There he is. Flicks it over to the inside. He's going to try and stick it in as much as he can. The late lunge down the inside. It's going to be round the outside here for Kula to try and hold it in. For the long right-hander. Martin's still in this. Spence Robb has utilized this little scrap here to close in. At the same time, Lagolante's got, oh, yeah, cool, I'll just pull away then, shall I? 7/10 gap, almost 8, if not more now, as we come to the line. Kula will stay P2. 1.4 second gap now because of how much they were going side by side. So here's where you got to pick your battles, Martin. You can't afford for this to happen as Kula goes very wide. Does get himself back on track safely. Doesn't have... any penalties, but that will almost certainly be a warning.
Yeah, I'm just having a look to see what happened, and it looked like Kula basically went a little bit wide on the Wellington straight, and then just coming into Brooklands, Lagolante managed to make the move stick just because of that one slight mistake from Kula. Just dropped him back into the clutches of Lagolante, and he just had the exit to make it stick.
Antonello Lagolante has shown in this first round already how good he can be. And this is going to be a really good season throughout, especially if all of these guys are scrapping like this all the way through. This is going to make for magic content for all of you guys here on the YouTubes.
Yeah, this is incredible. This, you know, this is exactly what you want to see. These guys, all of them very, very quick drivers. They're very aggressive. They're wanting to fight. They're wanting to defend. They're wanting to just put on a show, and so far they're doing that.
Well, speaking of, Spence Rob down the inside there of Martin. Maybe even go for two. Oh, there's contact, but he's just about caught it. Fair play to Cooler for keeping hold of that. And that's allowed Martin to get round the outside here of Cooler. Cooler's now under a lot of pressure. Bit of aggression there from Spence Rob has really scared Cooler just a touch there. But I'll tell you something, well held there from Cooler to avoid that major issue. And Seredy with the first penalty of the race, 5 seconds. His name.
Yeah, unfortunately getting another penalty, got quite a few in the last race, 30 seconds, and that's Cooler now went wide, and Spence Robbs managed to make the move stick and get onto the back of Martin once again. Martin having to make that opportunistic move to get the both of them after that little bit of contact, and this has really opened things up for Martin, but can he maintain this P2, or will Spence Robb manage to get the run in and make it move stick?
Well, this is the thing. We've seen so many times the Porsche really struggle in these high-speed corners where you know, there's no braking or gas input. It's quite awkward for the Porsche to handle it. Whether or not Spence has got that nailed in. I mean, I had the same issue in the Audi when it came around to the F1 turn 1. That corner there in particular, because you just lift. You don't actually brake, you just lift. And if you don't engage the diff correctly, dead. That's the only end point there. But Cooler also having back-end problems. Back-end stepped out a fair bit there, and it did lose a little bit of time. Maybe just turned a bit too much, but is continuing to stay in this train. And what a good ending this is going to be. 23 minutes to go. Lots of action yet to happen.
Yep, and I just want to call out Wagner in the chat for having a lovely commentator's curse on Shelkins. He has went from P12, dropped basically his back end, stepped out, spun the rear, facing the wrong way, and it was dropped down to P16.
Good job, Wagner. All on you, mate. Hope you feel bad now. I'm just kidding. Porsche has such a short wheelbase as well. Honestly, the Porsche looks to be a fantastic car. I think the fact that it's rear engine is the problem. But car 29 has got 15-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 1. That is Mead.
Yep, Mead. And I will tell you exactly who he had an incident with.
He hit the back of that Lambo, didn't he?
He hit the back of Selkins, actually.
Oh, that was it. Sorry, yeah, you're right.
Yep, so that is a big 15-second penalty slapped down on Mead, and that is absolutely going to cost him. He has 3 drivers that could potentially take advantage of that, potentially 4. If our boy McFriedlich, Christoph Holzer, will be able to make a little move and get up a little bit closer, he could stay within range.
Yeah, that'd be beautiful to see, wouldn't it? That would be exactly what we want, and then a little bit more. So, Lagolante P1, 2.4 second gap to Martin now. I think the pressure from Spence Robb has kind of shown. This is why Lagolante has been able to pull. I mean, Lagolante having the pace in general anyway has really, really helped out. I mean, last lap 59.6. Martin did a 59.1, and so did Spence Robb. But you know, he's actually brought that gap down. Never mind, I take that back.
Yep,
At 1.8 between Lagolante and Martin. This is huge.
Yep, he's bringing it down, but can he make it stick? That's the thing. He needs to be able to make sure that he can keep this momentum going and catch back up. We have 21 minutes left in this session. He can absolutely pull this gap back and get that first position.
Yep, there's the Audi that you can see. Viniecki getting out of the way. It just says, well, there's too many cars here. I don't want any of this. You guys just do it. I'll sit here at the back and just carry on. But yeah, this is going to be... I mean, look at them all. Down to P7, from P2 onwards, all within a second of each other. What's happening?
He's potentially making the move here. Unfortunately, he's not managed to make it stick, and this is costing him time. That's dropping him out of the range of Mead's penalty. But he's wanting to get these moves done on track.
Go on, McFreely. I want to see this. You know what? I'm even going to go for a little cheeky onboard with him. Let's see what he's got here. Can he go for a a little Senderino on the Porsche. He is driving with the controller, bear in mind. So,
Yep. I don't think he owns a wheel, actually. I think.
He's gone for the send!
Oh, he's gone for the send! Here we go! That's what I like to see.
Down the inside alongside the Porsche here of Januszewski. And I think he's got it done. Mr. McFriedlich or Mr. Holzer, you take your pick. Either way, you're a beast in my eyes.
Take a bow. That was great.
Oh,
just a little tap from Januszewski, and that is sent off Holzer. He's just lost the back end. And can he get this under control and get back into that zone? That was an incredible overtake made, and just a slight mistake from Januszewski that has knocked him back. Kind of favourable to, you know, it's upsetting. He's actually just been given a 15-second penalty for something else, so he's definitely going to be dropping back, and that is definitely hurting McFriedlich.
So the penalty was for a collision on lap 2. So that was what it came down to. But I mean, you know, McFriedlich, lost out. Will be out of the range of the meet as well for that penalty. But you know what? That was fantastic to see from McFriedlich. I've raced with him for quite a while now, actually, for a couple of years at least. And you know, both in F1 and into ACC. And many a time I've had some really good quality racing side-by-side battles as well with him. You know, somebody you can always rely on to give you that space, but also push you to your very limits, and it's always enjoyable.
Yep. And not just that, I mean, he is also just a really, really nice guy.
Yeah, he really is. A really nice guy. Spencer Robb, though, somebody who's about to not be a nice guy to Martin, because he's going to look to try and take that P2 away from him. A 1.8 second gap between Martin and Lagalante, so Spence needs to be smart here. You can't just yeet it to try and take P2 away, because all you're going to do is cause there to be a gap between you and Lagalante, and you want to try and keep your eye on the prize. The eye of the prize being the race win. That would be huge, especially in this nice race 2 here that we've been seeing so far. So Spence, play your cards right. Oh, don't do that. I mean, don't touch the gravel, because that will slow you down. I mean, he only lasts a very small amount of time. But to be honest, that's kind of helped him, because now he can let Martin just focus on his lap times, and I'll pull Spence along with him.
Yep, and just to confirm, that penalty that was received for Januszewski was for contact with Max Trainer. Which I think also explains why he's kind of down the order. I believe he was further up at the start of this race.
Friedrich is one of the most wholesome people in the community. Change my mind? Nope, because I agree with you.
He is honestly such a lad. I have all the time in the world for him.
Look at that track map on the right side. Just look at how close all of the, top 10? At least the top 9 are.
It is all the way down to 9, yep. It's so great to see. You know, it's one of the great things about, one of the things that we love about racing is just having, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, just having people of equal pace and ability racing against each other and seeing the battles unfold.
Yeah. We missed it, but Spence Robb has managed to get past Martin. I just had a quick look to see if I can see on the 30-second replay, but yeah, Martin seems to have had an issue in T1 apparently. Conte James, thank you for the update. And that has allowed Spence Robb to get through. We were too busy talking about McFriedlich, who missed the overtake. Shocking behaviour, really, isn't it?
It is shocking behaviour, but when you can talk about McFriedlich, you've got to talk about McFriedlich.
Yeah, you got to take. You don't miss a window like that. So look at Seredy as well, who is on the back of Kaki. Kaki having a little look-see down the inside as well. Maybe we'll see if the Lambo is going to cave. Lambo being Cooler. Cooler was race leader at one point in this race. Bear that in mind. Now down to P5. And actually under pressure as well. Seredy's just ran a bit deep there, got into the gravel, slowed himself down. Also adding to that 5-second penalty that he's got currently, he's just going to make it fall down. I think P9 is probably going to be where he ends up at the end of this race, unless he can pull off some sort of miracle pace, which will pull him away. But, you know, Spence Robb, not only has he got past Jay Martin, he's also pulled a gap and is starting to work on bringing down the gap that he's got between him and Lagalante. Yeah,
I'm just on board just now trying to figure out what happened to Martin. Just trying to find it right now. Just going through cops, and yeah, he just, as he was attempting to steer in, the car said nope. And that was all it took for Spence Robb, who had the traction nailed down and had all the grip he needed to just stay on track and take the position.
F indeed, but if I look at Kaki, We talked about how he was going to have a fight with the Lambo, and he's doing the exact same thing again. He's side by side with him, going in towards the very tight left-hander. Again, I've said this time and time again, if you can keep your car alongside the opponent's car through there, you can actually go for a sim. But look at Serity as well. Very close suddenly to the back of the Bentley. He went from being on the attack to on the defensive here, did Khaki. And that's Serity. Don't know if I agree with the flash in there. I don't think the Bentley did anything wrong at all. You're going a bit deeper as well, going onto the grass.
Yeah, he seems a little bit flustered there.
Oh! Sent from Khaki
down
the inside. Cooler's actually trying to hold it through as well. The left-hander should favor Cooler, but the acceleration that the Bentley has got might actually favor overall for the Bentley. Going to look to cover off the inside as well there from Serity. Serity's just going to be stuck behind. There's not a great deal that he could do about it. But watch this Bentley now. The pace will start to switch suddenly for the Lambo, but the gap is left open on the inside. The Bentley's going for a late lunge straight down the inside. Got a bit deep here. This has allowed Cooler to get right back at him. And actually, oh, there's contact! No, that's Bentley off. That's Lambo off. And that's Serity through on both of them. Watch out for the rejoin here for the Bentley. Does just keep it clean enough. Will also concede the position there to allow Cooler back through. And, you know, yes, there was contact. Yes, Cooler will lost that position to Serity as well. Will he be upset about it? A little bit. But we'll probably gain it back again due to that penalty that Serity's got.
Yeah, probably get it back again. You know, he might say that, you know, oh well, you know, I might have been able to catch back up to Vinian and take that position.
Ooh.
I doubt it. There's a big enough gap, and that's another 5-second penalty for Serity. Yeah.
I bet I know what it is. They've not. It just says an infraction. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I think it's because he got. I think he was flashing. Well, I know he was flashing. Yeah. I think that's what he got penalised for.
Yeah, I would say that was kind of unsportsmanlike, and probably,
I
probably
think that's
want to
what
nip that in the bud.
I know that it is heavily monitored by the stewards.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Oh, we've got a fight on our hands. The top 4 are all within the toe of each other, and we have 13 minutes left of this race. Oh, this is gonna be a banger to close us out with.
Yep, and guys, if you ever want to know what Raggy's bedroom sounds like, there you go.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. I've only got one question for you. If you haven't already hit like and subscribe, why? Why haven't you hit like and subscribe? Because this is absolutely fantastic, and it's going to be even better as this race closes out. So do it. It's free. Make a big difference in your life. And if you do decide you don't want to in the end, you can always undo it. But why not do it now?
Yeah, why not do it now indeed? Just having a look here, and yeah, like all of the top 4 right now look like they're kind of settled where they're doing. Not wanting to make any mad lunges or anything. Still plenty of time to make a move, go, you know, build one up. But yeah, it looks like Lagalante is going to have the pressure put on him from Spencer Robb, who has been absolutely flying these last few laps. But what that's done is it has made Lagalante put the foot down. They are now matching each other almost for time. So this is what we always say. It's one thing to catch, another to pass, and that's pushed Lagalante into another gear. He's now matching the times. Like, now you need to force your move. You need to make him make a mistake. You need to make him go into uncomfortable positions.
Well, we saw a fantastic mine punt in the previous race. It was fantastic to see. Great sportsmanship from Khaki, though. Italian temper flaring up. I feel like I'm talking to myself here. I think there's just a lot of people enjoying the show, you know. Sat back, eating some food, having a few bevies, watching this incredible racing that we're seeing here. And I don't blame them. In all fairness, I don't blame them at all. But we appreciate you being in the chat, Wagner. We appreciate you giving us some love. Thank you, man. But yeah, when we got the racing like this, 11 minutes to go, we know that time is running out, and Lagalante will be looking at that clock and watching it like a boiling kettle, you know, just trying to pray that it hurries up and gets over and done with so he can just take the dub with him. But Spence Robb will not ease up. He will not ease up at all. In fact, look how close he is to the back of him. The rear wing has never looked so juicy for Spence Robb. You say, Audi? I've always fancied myself an Audi. Why don't I just take one for myself physically on the track, go right on past it? And that's exactly what he's going to need to do here. The exit should be more favorable for the Porsche driver here because the Audi is only more powerful when it comes to the straight line speed. The toe is going to be huge. Just bear that one in mind. Like, when Spence Rob gets past, don't expect Lagolante to just sit back and enjoy it, because the straight... Oh! Oh, the tank slapper from Spence Rob, and he catches it. Oh, Reese. Well done. Absolutely fantastic.
That was great catch, and he never really lost much time. You know, he's managed to stay right on the gearbox of Lagolante. You know, he's had a little bit of a snap, he caught it, corrected it, and now he can go. He is hunting down that Audi.
Oh, he's doing it again. He's back end stepping. He's losing time now. And look at Martin. I think Spence Rob is doing it, but Martin, go around the outside. This is going to be so difficult. Oh, they nearly collided. The Bentley loses traction as well, and also keeping out for Vining, who's just cruised on through. We're in the dying stages of the race, and these guys are racing like they've got one more lap to go. Vining is through up to P3. Martin has fallen due to the scare that Spence Rob had, because Spence Rob had so many issues with the back end stepping out there. And all this has done, yes, it's switched up a place, but it's also allowed Lagolante to pull a gap. A 1.3 second gap this late in the race is going to be so scary for those behind.
Yeah, but what Spence Rob can bank on is he brought that gap down before. You know, yes, he's a little bit in front now, but he's already catching back up. As that gap is now went from 1.3 to 1 second. He is catching back up. He's hunting back down. And maybe he was just getting a little bit uncomfortable being that close, and he was getting a little bit edgy. But now that he's got a little bit of clear air again, he's showing, I have pace. I'm going to catch you. And that's exactly what he's doing. But he's also dragging the cars behind forward.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the other thing, you know. I mean, Serity is obviously going to have that huge penalty that is going to make it a factor, but who knows? A bit of contact could end up taking things even further away. So, looking at this situation we've got going on here, Cooler is also under attack from Khaki. This is for P6, although P5 if you think about it, due to the penalties that Serity has got. So, factor that one into your timings. You are looking at a nice juicy P5, providing you can keep yourself under control. If you can, then you might even be able to gain a little bit more than that. But you do have to watch out behind, because Dello is only 1.2 away from Khaki. And you also got Lizelle, who's also looking to try and close in on Dello and capitalize. So we've got two big battles going on here. And this is just for the top 10, if you think about it. And this is really good to see. Two long battles, should I say. Because, you know, you got the whole of the top 4 fighting. You got P6 down to P9 fighting. And that's...
Trainer?
Yep. What's happening?
He's having a little bit of an argy-bargy right now. But he's been attempting to make the move stick here on Januszewski. I'll put my teeth back in, thank you. Januszewski. But he's now just dropped back there. He had a little bit of a touch. Obviously, again, there's that 15-second penalty, so that's going to come into play. But looks like he's got the position done, and he's up.
And also, Skeletons has got through as well, so... You know, good stuff. People chopping and changing places left, right, and center. But look at race leader again. He already, like you said, he was closing in before. I didn't expect it to be this quick. 7 minutes to go as we cross the old style F1 finish and start line. Car 5 with a 5-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 13. Car 5 is Cooler. So Khaki and Dello and Lizelle all going to gain places, providing that they don't get a penalty or have an issue themselves. But we want to see this fight. All of the top 4 could not be any closer if they tried. This is going to go all the way down. And you know what? We're gonna try something.
The top 4 was separated there by 1.1 seconds. That's madness.
This is fantastic. This is absolutely
Lagolante's
fantastic.
been deep.
Yep, and I'm watching Spence Rob. Well,
he's managed to just keep it back and keep his position, but he went deep there, and that could have been massively position changing for him. He could have went from P1 down to P4 there with that little run.
So like P15, 16, and 17 is they're spread out a little bit. They're about half a second. Although it looks like Schelikens is gonna have a continuation fight between him and Max Trainer. Max actually lost out already to the Schelikens. It's a real effort to say his name. You've got to really think about it.
Every time you say it, it's different every time.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm trying. I'm scared to look away from this race lead because it's so close between them, and it can literally just be a slight mistake from any one of the drivers, and then boom, it's already chopped and changed around, you know. And already the Audi, oh no, mistakes made, oh big snap, oh my word, see you later Lagalante, off into the gravel. That is, oh, the heartbreak.
That's heartbreaking.
Yes, it just took
That's
it a bit too tight.
Why did you have to say there could be one mistake? Oh, Raggy!
Well, also, Martin's got through on Vining as well because of the situation that unfolded. Martin is now up into P3. You got Vining now into P... well, actually, sorry, I take that back. He's up to P2 because, we were waiting for the update on Lagalante. So who knows how this one's going to pan out? You know, we've already seen one mistake. Are we going to see another? Maybe we see them all go.
Oh, don't do this to me. My heart
Stare
can't
in the
take
pot.
it.
Just stare
My
in the
heart
pot.
can't take it.
Good evening. Is it evening for you as well, Emily, or is it morning for you? Good morning, Emily. Emily Kate, hope you're well. You have missed some incredible racing. I strongly recommend you go and watch the VOD because, wow, this has been fantastic to see.
This has been incredible from every race, all 4 of them. My lord, like, if this is what we're going to see from here on out, please, can it be Thursday already? I want the next race.
I'm going to need a new voice box, though. I'm not going to lie to you. I can feel the pain already kicking in. I'm going to be sounding like I'm Chewbacca at the end of this race, that's for sure. But the top 3 are still keeping it very close, although Vining is kind of struggling to sort of maintain the pace that these guys are chucking down. I mean, Spence Robb has already shown how fast he is. Lagalante just couldn't quite keep up with what Spence Robb was chucking down, and then obviously once he got close enough, like we said plenty of times now, it's okay catching someone, it's passing someone that's the problem. Luckily for Spence Robb, he didn't have to worry about that because Lagalante unfortunately took himself out of the situation. Oh, Martin playing the dummy. The defensive move there from Spence Robb. This is going to allow Martin to go around the outside, but maintaining the pace through there is so difficult, and that's why he ends up losing out in the long run. And at the same time, he's allowed Vining to get closer. So this 3-way battle for the top 3 is just going to continue as is, and I don't see... Oh, the send from the Nissan. He's gone so deep. The dive bomb, Datsun living up to the name. Didn't get the momentum carried through, though. But I tell you something, there was definitely a Curd Brown for one of them. Oh.
Absolutely, that was close, you know. But, you know, he went for it. He didn't lose anything. He's still there. And just to touch on Lagalante, he still finishes P4 right now.
Yeah,
you know, he's
exactly.
well within that range for Saturday, so unless something drastic happens, he still finishes P4. So yes, the win slipped out of his hands, but that... For 30 minutes, he's been absolutely hounded, and he's done so well defending.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic to watch all of these guys battling it out on the circuit, and they continue going. No matter what happens, they just carry on pushing. And yeah, this is exactly what you want to see. So, Spence Robb, your race leader. We're about 2 laps to go as they're coming through the final corner now to start the penultimate lap. And then you got J. Martin, P2. You got Vining, P3. And these guys have shown that when they are this close to each other, they will fight and they will not back out no matter what. And the pace is so close between them. That's the thing that makes it so interesting. Even with the toe, it makes no difference because the defensive abilities from these guys is top notch. Especially the Nissans. I don't know what's going on with the Nissans, but all of them seem to be insane at defending.
Yep, they have got the widest cars on track by far, and everyone, the big chungus, everyone has been having difficulty with their big chungus.
The biggest of chunguses, and again, look at this. Oh, he's actually come out already to try and get out of it. I think, again, he should have learned from his previous mistake. You want to try and fake out the outside, and then the inside, and then Nissan. Wow, that was, that could have been very bad. Martin needs to learn. He needs to look at this and go, the outside has not worked yet, okay? Why am I still trying this? What I need to do is fake the outside, make the Porsche go to defend it, and then I flick back to the inside and go from there. If the Porsche decides, actually, I'm just going to hold the inside, cool. Go for the switchback, carry the momentum through the corner, easy peasy, your overtake is completed. But he hasn't yet learned that, and that's something that will come, hopefully, within the next lap, because he's only got 1 more lap to go after this.
Easy peasy, your overtake is completed.
Exactly.
If Martin wants some information, he could also just go back and watch race 2 of Split Blue and watch exactly what King managed to do
Yeah.
is a little dummy, and it just fakes out your opponent, and you take the inside and just wave goodbye. See you later. I am away. Have my dust.
Yeah. Eat my dust. Eat my poop, because I am taking all of those places. And we are now moving on to the final lap then. So Spence Rob will cross the line to kick us off with this final lap shootout. And this is where desperation starts to set in. You'll see drivers who will just be looking at it and going, this is mine. I can just a little bit more. I only need to give it a little bit more and I could take it. And you might see someone just take it a little bit too deep into a corner, get themselves a drive-through even if they've been a bit too aggressive throughout the race and got themselves some warnings. Who knows? But when it comes down to it, you've got to keep it all together. Car 72 with a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision on lap 19. Car 72 is Trainer, Max Trainer.
Trainer, yep. And what was that lap? Did you say?
The last lap, lap 19.
That was with car 39, who is Selikans. So
Yep.
another. Oh, he's been in the wars today, hasn't he?
He's been bullied. He's gonna have to call up the cyberbullying, because it looks like that's what it's going. They're going side by side. Martin going for a set around the outside. Cannot keep it through. Spence Rob will regain that position. And watch out for the Nissan. You can see the scare that Reese has got. He's flashing the back marker saying, dude, get out of my way. You're blocking me, man. I'm going to lose this position if you block me any further. And look at the other two as well. They're trying to get through as quick as they can. And that's a little bit of a scare there for the Bentley, but he's managed to hold it through. And Jamie Martin running out of time. Car 158 getting a 5-second penalty for also a collision on lap 19, which is Dello.
Yep. That's and he had collided with Lizelle.
The last overtaking opportunity is about to form, and it looks like Vining's going to be the one who's going to try his best to get this Bentley done and dusted. In the tow, I think the Nissan should be more favoured. He's going to look for the inside. He's not going to quite get it. They nearly collide. The Bentley gets a little bit of a scare. Spence Rob has very clearly won this unless he has a major tank slap. They're coming through the final corner for the last time in race 2. Split red. Spence Rob, with a fantastic race, did not give up whatsoever, has taken the race win. Martin will take P2. Vining will take P3. Ceredy will cross the line P4, but Lagolante should be within range to take that position away from him due to the penalty that Ceredy has. Cooler will take P5 if Ceredy's penalty kicks in. Oh, did he just lose out? Lagolante ran out of fuel.
No.
He lost. I mean, he's not even in range of Ceredy. Ceredy's not losing a position. Ceredy's keeping P4.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
Lagolante, who drove like an absolute beast almost all race long, was just a little bit short on fuel. I mean, he still crossed the line. He still finishes P6. Well, sorry, P5. He'll still gain on Cooler. But he could have had P4. That could have been his. I mean, especially with the tank slapper, it's just sadness and heartache.
Sadness.
Yeah. Spence Rob doing a lap of victory, lap of honor. The tank slappers. Well, he slapped today, that's to say. He absolutely only had a couple of colored browns there. The back end stepped, and he really, really committed to keeping it. You know what? Fair play to him. He really did. Get a nice little juicy shot of the boy himself. Here he is. Our race winner, Spence Rob. Fantastic drive from him to achieve victory today. What an absolute machine he was. What an absolute drive from all of the drivers, to be truthfully honest. But the top 4 in particular, they were something else.
Yeah, this honestly, I'm actually speechless at how good each of these 4 races have been. This has been an incredible race. It's been an incredible session, and I just loved it.
We'll get the timetable for you in just a second when we move over into the confirmation screen. I think that's what they call it. It's not what they pretended.
Green light, go, go, go.
Yep. Why are we looking at his crotch? I can't make that stop, by the way. I'm sorry. Well, I don't know why we're staring at Spence Rob's crotch, but we are whilst we read the timetable. So yeah, looking at it, the penalties all included. It is Spence Rob P1, Martin P2, Vining P3, Serity P4, Legalante P5, Kaki P6, Lizelle P7, Cooler down to P8 due to the penalty, Francis P9, Bittori P10, Christoph Holzer P11, Mead P12, Rosendal P13, Dello P14, Schelikens P15, Trainer 16th, Janishewski P17, Tillet P18, Kulan P19, Viniecki, Kujin, sorry, not Kulan, Kujin P19, Viniecki P20, and our good old friend, the Waka P21. Oh man, what an absolutely incredible series of races that was. Tell me you didn't enjoy that. Like,
That
if anyone
was
tells me they were like,
incredible.
oh, that was boring, we're gonna have words, because that was fantastic. I'm
Yep.
blown away.
I cannot complain about that. That was, from start to finish, a roller coaster.
Yeah. Now, one final ask of you guys. If you did enjoy what you saw, then please click that like button and click subscribe. Free of charge, doesn't cost you a thing. We hit a milestone today, chat, and we did it during the European Sprint Series. The first time it's ever been aired on our Octane Online Racing channels, shall we call it. We got 800 subscribers. And we hit over 50 likes on the first time we showed it. So this is fantastic. If you guys could, tell your friends, tell your family, let all your uncles, aunties, cousins, grandmas, grandparents, whatever. Just let them all know. We'll be back in next week for round 2 of Sprint Series, European Octane Online Racing. Thank you, Badger, for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've missed commentating with you so much.
Yep, out of retirement, and what a way to come back.
I know, right? Incredible scenes. Have a good night, guys. Enjoy the NA coming up shortly. You've still got more racing. It doesn't even end. Love you too. Bye.